These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
I do cherish you for the rest of my life. You don't have to think twice.
These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. My name is Marlon Wells. That is Nathan Fulsebach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How are you? Whoa.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to sugarcoat it. I mean, I have been worse, but I could clearly be better.
Clearly.
I'm kind of itchy.
Okay.
Kind of itchy going on here.
Just a general itch?
Just a deep ear itch that's really fucking...
Bummer.
Good God, I don't know what it is. There's a bump in there that I don't like one bit. Like, those, like
trouble bump.
It's like I need to make a note of that in my phone. Is that bump still there in 6 months? You need to talk to somebody. Ever get a whitehead in your ear?
Yeah, not like ultra deep, but like like they're in the like it's visible if somebody were looking at you. Yep.
A buddy of mine that had a girlfriend that he was belly aching about that. He's like, well, lay down on your side on the couch for a second. She went under his ear with like a bobby pin.
I already hate this.
And used like the round end and pressed and popped a fucking whitehead in his ear. And he's like, I'm going to marry that woman. And he did. Still together.
This had a sweet ending.
Yeah. Still together. Like, the woman that'll pop your ear whiteheads is in it for the fucking long haul.
I thought that was going with, and then the pus poured into his brain, and now we take flowers to his headstone every year.
Me and all the buddies are on butt wipe duty.
Yeah.
Lives in a home. It's like fucking being an usher at a small town church.
We all together take care of his wife ever since he died.
Oh, is that the first weekend of February? Fuck, I'm on butt wipe duty. Yeah.
I can't make that comedy show. I'm on butt wipe duty.
Yeah.
You don't explain anything to the booker. Just, nope, I can't. I'm on butt wipe duty.
I know a guy that can. I'm pretty sure he isn't wiping anyone's butt, so I'm sure he's wide open.
He'll send you his avails.
He wipes his own butt.
Oh, yeah, that's who you want.
Yeah, he doesn't have anyone else's to worry about.
You want a good self-wiper. Yep. I'm done wiping. Yeah. Not to veer into last week's episode too much, but
did you at least think about it since then?
Think about quitting wiping?
Like, could you see yourself embracing that lifestyle?
Of just walking around with a shitty ass?
There's other ways. Think of all the trees you'd save. Think of all the money you'd save.
I mean, I don't know where you stand on this. I can't believe this has just turned into this fucking toilet podcast. Yeah. But like, I would be open to like a bidet situation.
Yeah.
Like,
there you go.
I know people who have them and they love them.
You just... I don't know, staple. You got a big staple. Staple a fucking comforter to the wall in your bathroom. And you just get up in you just kind of rock your ass cheeks across that a few times. I bet you dance 10 seconds of the Macarena against that comforter. That dries your ass sufficiently without like friction burns on your fucking delicates.
I don't think you know I don't think you're familiar with the contours of my bottom because you gotta dig. You gotta do some digging to get to the jewel. You know.
Come along, hook to the fucking pipes. That's for one ass cheek. A couple ratchet straps from the fucking shower rod.
This whole Rube Goldberg machine that you've built in your bathroom.
I like the idea now they have like the little fucking time thing so kids know how long to brush their teeth. You know, flip over the sands fall, the hourglass.
An hourglass, yeah.
Having one that's just the shape of one of the two middle-aged men from Los Del Rio, and you flip it over and it plays 15 seconds of the Macarena. This is how long you rub your ass against the bathroom comforter.
Hey,
God damn, that is the exact right amount of time. I've never felt fresher.
Hey, Macarena.
So I'm saying there's options.
Okay. Yeah. I clearly do not speak Spanish. If you listened through all that.
You know how old guys have hankies instead of carrying Kleenex?
Yeah, they all carry a cloth hanky.
You could have an ass hanky that just you put behind the toilet tank. in multiple Ziploc bags, I hope.
Or in the toilet tank.
Washing your shit hanky out in the sink as one of your nightly chores.
I'm pretty sure I was raised in cloth diapers when I was little.
Jesus Christ, why do we it's good enough for our babies, but not for us?
Full circle.
Jesus Christ. Being in a fucking public restroom as a man changes his own shitty diaper in the stall. Fuck, it's falling out everywhere. Oh, God damn it.
I didn't mean go back to cloth diapers. I meant cloth was the main substance.
I was getting ahead. I was excited about your interest in cloth diapers.
No. Cloth was my asshole's original first love. Why not go back, I'm saying.
Dinner, lunch, and a guy audibly shits. It's okay, I'm clothed up. There is a moist stain forming in the back. Oh, God, yeah, it's cloth, right?
Jeez, I knew I should have changed it after the second one.
Didn't think it through. Oh, my God. Just fucking letting her buck after one shit.
No, I can finish this movie.
It's a 3 shit diaper.
No, I'm not going to change now. I can finish vacuuming. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here. Yeah. Think of all the toilet paper I'm saving.
As yet another social event ends in flames, you just mutter that to you keep track of the number. 7715.
The way people think about like every cigarette takes 7 minutes off your life. Every wipe, that's 1/800,000th of a tree.
Once you get up to 800, you're going to take a Greyhound to Branson. That's what you keep thinking. $122 left till Branson.
Oh, God. Well, if you're going to start using a cloth hanky, at least like I'm thinking the hankies that either of my grandpas carry around, you're going to need a higher quality hanky. Those are white hankies that are so threadbare. You're going to read the Bible through either of their hankies.
Those hankies should be used to polish fine china because they are so thin and delicate at that point.
Like rice paper. Yeah. Like I could wrap a shrimp roll in that and eat the hanky.
Grandpa's hanky is edible.
I went an embarrassingly long amount of time in my life before realizing you can eat the rice paper that it is wrapped.
Oh, no shit.
Around. Like you go to a Vietnamese spot and get like a shrimp roll, some shrimp and some cabbage and whatnot in there. It comes in that translucent rice paper, like a clear wonton wrapper. Be like, how am I supposed to eat this? It's so messy once I unroll it.
I get that,
fuckhead.
I get that. I'm not going to jump on you on this one.
Thanks, buddy.
I could see myself being flustered by that. Like, it's eat paper? Well, you don't eat paper. Eat all paper?
just staring at a magazine,
napkins. Oh, look, appetizers. Eating coasters.
Eating the little paper thing that has the drink specials off the table at a Fridays.
Looks like I'm the one that's special. Get the fuck out of our restaurant. What's that called when you have a compulsion to eat paper?
Oh, there's a word for it. Yes. I've seen it on like My Strange Addiction. Yeah. Like, oh, she ate a newspaper every day for 30 years. Christ. Guess what? She's not doing hot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no shit.
Her brain is half ink.
The first fucking day you go out and fucking run a couple errands after eating the fucking Sunday edition, just like...
That's a big one. That's a big breakfast.
Now. That's who I am now, I guess. I eat the fucking newspaper. Like a bad billy goat. Like...
That crossword is hard. Yeah. Going down. Yeah. It's real big. So many ads in the Sunday one. Oh.
Just a lot of different colors of ink.
I should have saved that one. I do need a new mattress, and they seemed like a good deal. I don't know.
Hey, Marlon.
Hey, Nathan.
You know who has never eaten a Sunday edition of a newspaper that I've heard of?
Who's that?
The Simpsons.
Are you done with our nonsense? You're just like, shut it down.
I thought that was a good rando thing to roll off of. Yeah.
Yeah. You found you picked a lane. You turned on your signal and just took the slot.
And there's a chance Homer's ate a newspaper one episode. He's ate a lot of shit over the years.
Yeah, that's actually true. You're not supposed to hesitate. You're supposed to hit the blinker and jump into the spot.
We are in season 29, kind of right in the middle, getting towards the end.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, do you know how many we got in this season? 21, 22? I'm not sure.
I'm not looking, but I think 21 off the top of my head.
Because we are doing episodes 14 through 18.
21, yes.
We're going to kick it off with episode 14, Fears of a Clown. Episode begins with the word getting out that Skinner is retiring, which that's a spicy way to begin an episode. And I think it's Martin finds out, and like, I can trust you with this. You're a hall monitor. You have integrity.
Yep.
He lets everyone know the hot gossip, the hot tea. And they hold a press conference, as you probably would if a long-time principal's retiring. They got Chalmers is there, all the faculty's there, and Bart's going to attempt to ruin it. He's got a slingshot. He's trying to get the shot. And then before he can take it, they have a bunch of people speak. I mean, it's the real deal. Like, it's no expenses spared. And he's like, I'm going to choose a child at random to say a few words about me. I want them to speak from their heart. And he selects Bart. So Bart has to go up there, and Bart is still going to take a shot. Is he early on, or is this around the time he takes the shot, which is deftly deflected, and it hits Mrs. Skinner in the head?
Yeah, it's now on his way to the podium.
Yeah. Because Skinner's ready. He knows.
He's got a frying pan. Like, deflects the shot with a frying pan. And Agnes gets knocked the fuck out.
Which couldn't happen to a better woman.
Sure, yes. But that old woman needs to go to the hospital. She shouldn't. Don't let her lay asleep for too long.
We find out in a fucking hurry that it wasn't Bart that had the drop on Skinner. It was the total other way around, because Skinner's like, now, Willie. And fucking Willie hits him with a goddamn fucking 5-gallon pail of honey. And then is it the gym teacher that hits him? What the hell is next? Birdseed, which is such an insanely awesome idea. Like, cover someone with honey, and once that had a chance to solidify,
oh my god,
nightmare.
It's like it is though a way more friendly version of tar and feather. Like, because if you've ever read or done any research on tar and feathering, like, it was that had to be the worst thing. Tar doesn't melt until like 180 degrees or something. That's
isn't
so
room
hot
temp.
on you.
It's not applied with a butter knife. It's liquefied. So it's fucking scalding.
God, that had to hurt so fucking bad.
Insane.
And that was the thing that they would do if they didn't want to hurt somebody. They just wanted to send a message. I remember like reading a thing of like, here's what that actually entailed, and being like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's often played for laughs and the cartoons and stuff.
Hey, at least we didn't hurt you. You only have second-degree burns
over your entire body.
Your
eyelids are going to scab over.
And we fucking made you straddle this log and carried you through the village for a day and a half. Like, Jesus.
Can you imagine what it's like if you live by a body of water that has seagulls and you have to walk by covered in honey? You're fucking, oh my God, your troubles are just beginning. Gotta say this, pretty goddamn crafty for Skinner.
Yep.
And as far as I know, does he just do this to get one on Bart?
I think so. I don't think he has a reason.
There's no ulterior motive. It's just fuck you, Bart.
I loved, not to backtrack too far, but during this whole, when we still think he's retiring, when they have fucking Ralphie do that rap about how great Mr. Skinner is, and it just devolves into him being like, that boy's younger than me, but I want to be in karate class.
Karate.
And he's dressed like Puff Daddy. He's in all white with the big gold chain.
Do you think this is supposed to be based on a performance of some kind?
I have no idea. Or if it's just we need Ralphie to rap.
How Skinner just rolls with I found it very interesting when he rhymed karate with karate.
Yep. when that goddamn rap starts to devolve and he's just yelling, karate.
Yeah. And think of how many moving parts the city or the school board has to sign off on something like this. The fucking superintendent's there. Like, all the teachers are in on it. Like, that shows how universally despised Bart is.
You had to like trigger the trap at the right time where you know that Martin is in the hallway so he can overhear and spread it to everybody. Like, it's elaborate.
Fucking. Cheese and Bart with the honey and bird, a pretty fucking epic play. But he's a 10-year-old boy. That's fucked up.
At the end of the day, yes, this is fucked up.
The Vietnam vet terrorizing a 10-year-old boy.
Also, I love that there's at that press conference thing a mascot with a giant Skinner head. Who made that? Why is that here?
Because that's what's on stage trying to interact with him, and Bart's trying to get his shot with the slingshot.
Yeah, it's like a sniper scene of like, I don't have the shot. Like, what the fuck? Why is there a big-headed Skinner mascot?
So Bart, justifiably in this case, sometimes his rage is not justifiable. This, I think he is. Like, I can't blame Skinner, but that's a hell of a fucking reach.
Yeah, but this is 29 seasons of unpaid tickets coming due. You know, I think if you're Bart, you swallow this one. You just hold the L.
But he can't do that. He needs to get revenge, which he plans pretty quick. It might even be the night he gets cleaned up, possibly. He's looking through his little bastard kit and all the stuff. It's not crazy glue. What kind of glue is it? Psycho Stick.
Yeah. Which I laughed at because Psycho Stick is a band. That's a real band.
Real serious artists. Psycho Stick.
Totally. Yeah.
And he finds the wacko glue and a bunch of unused, crusty, like solid plastic masks.
Yeah, like cheap Halloween masks. Yep.
And this is an insane prank too. This would involve the hospital.
Yep.
He fucking crazy glues these crusty masks onto all the faculty that played a role in this. So they're fucking waking up with a goddamn hard shell plastic mask glued to their face, justifiably fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
And like in the woods, which I like, they're like gone feral. They're losing their minds so much because we get a good Cletus and Brandine.
Yeah.
Psychotic fucking clowns running through the fucking countryside.
The ones are full of crazy white people. Yeah. Also, I love though that it is still a cartoon, so they don't notice that they have a hard shell mask glued to their face until they see in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know?
Point. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever tried to breathe through one of those, but they're not great. You would notice pretty immediately.
Yep. As a little kid, anytime you had to run trick-or-treating, you'd notice, like, this is not good. 2 pinpoint nose holes, sometimes no mouth hole. Yeah. Some just a little sliver.
Mouth slit that you keep sticking your tongue through like an idiot.
Because it's sharp, too.
Yeah, like, he's like,
you do it one too many times, it hurts.
Yeah, I just like the sensation.
Ken Brockman catches wind of this, and on his news show, he sensationalizes all these clown sightings on the air, and he asks for more footage. So all this does is just get a bunch of lunatic fucking clown copycats out on the streets of Springfield. Got a hunch this is around the time that was going viral.
Had to have been, right?
Like, what was that base? That was just a couple idiots did it, and
yeah, I think it just like made some news story and on some local news station, and then everybody across the country was like, "I can buy a clown mask and stand by the side of the road."
Oh, and you're right. I was thinking this was like a TikTok type. No, this is like on the news.
Yeah,
Like they weren't even recording themselves. They would just go out assuming someone would record them,
and just stand by the side of the road or
ominous.
Or out on the sidewalk in front of somebody's house. And frankly, you're not doing anything illegal.
No, you can dress up like a scary clown.
Yeah, there's no law that says I can't dress up like a scary clown.
The best one of those I saw was a guy with a drone flying over a cornfield, a huge cornfield, and just like one row out of a million, there's just this giant fucking 6'5" clown with a knife. It's a blink and you miss it. That might have been good. I'd be fucking terrified.
I have never understood fear of clowns. I know that it's real. I accept that it's a thing some people have. But for me, of all the fucking things to be afraid of.
Yeah. If someone's coming after me with a knife, I hope they have giant floppy shoes. I'd rather have
pants.
Yeah, I'd rather have that than fucking cleats. You know, I want them big, giant, floppy pants. You know, fucking grease paint in their eyes. Yeah,
like I have a couple of friends who are legitimately like terrified of a clown. Like even if it's at a carnival or at a circus, they're just like, nope, don't like that.
Have fun with that clown.
Like, what's the matter?
What'd that clown do to you?
Yeah, I mean, some of them rap. A couple of them anyway.
So now the street, Who, God damn it, we're going to go back to that. who out there besides Insane Clown Posse? Is that it?
That's them.
Did they have the market cornered?
I think so. On Rapping Clowns, yes, I believe so.
Doesn't it feel like there was probably a failed attempt in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Had to have been.
There is someone out there bitter as shit.
Yep. Yeah. They fucking took my life.
Cuckoo Clown Crew. Repping Cleveland. Got some other Midwest Rust Belt.
Cuckoo Clown Crew is very funny. I guess twisted wraps in makeup, but it's not quite clown makeup. And it's clown adjacent.
Yeah, they're ICP fucking lackeys, aren't they?
Yeah. They're Psychopathic Records guys. Like it's clown adjacent.
The clown hysteria it disrupts an OK Go music video shoot, which had not thought of those guys in a minute.
I think it's a good joke.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Especially like because they ruin the fucking music video and they all like, you know, everything collapses and shit. And they're like, oh no, now people will have to judge us on our music, which is so funny because they're known for their elaborate fucking music videos.
God, songs are catchy enough.
There's a handful of OK Go songs I can get behind.
Never met a fan of them.
Nope. Like I don't know that they exist.
So they tour. They got to, I'm sure. Yeah.
I do think like every video I have seen, I have thought that's really impressive.
Yep. The time.
Yeah.
Like they seem like they'd be insanely time
effort that goes into making their fucking music videos is crazy. And the music, totally fine.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah, poppy, fun, indie rock.
They would have came out a decade earlier, they would have had some top 40 hits. But
yeah, probably. I think that very first one was a big hit.
Yeah. That seems right.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good call. That was that's by far their number one Spotify song.
Yeah, gotta be.
So what this is all leading to is this whole clown, all the anti-clown sentiment in town means that Krusty's show goes down the tubes with the quickness because all the kids are terrified of him. Because like he comes out and does his laugh and they all are screaming, hollering. And that's when Sideshow Mel is like, but kids, I'm still here. It's like, I'm a 60-year-old man with a bone through my head wearing a grass skirt with nothing underneath.
And no shirt. Yeah. They all run.
So they all take off.
That's like something to consider. Why is his sidekick a caveman?
I wonder. Yeah. Because all I know is the Bozo Show, and they're all clowns of some kind. Huh. Why wouldn't it also be a clown?
Right.
You know.
Why is it a caveman?
Yeah.
And why is he a thespian?
Yeah,
like why is he British?
Yeah. Why were both of them super smart?
Yeah. It's very crazy.
So Krusty's quickly realizes the show is. Well, he doesn't realize, he's told that the show's going downhill. But it's also during this time Bart has to attend juvenile court for what he did. Where he originally gets a soft sentence. I love it. We've seen it 2 or 3 times when Bart shows up in court and he's done the song and dance. He's just saying, it's like, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this, you've done that. You can either fry me or free me.
Yep.
I'm just a widow stinker.
It's so funny.
I laughed hard at that.
Like, fuck him. He's a little shit ass, but at the same time, like, fuck. Yeah. Okay.
And the judge immediately gives him a light sentence. That's when Marge speaks up. And Marge is like, well, Your Honor, he's never going to learn if he doesn't face some punishment. And punishment he gets, they send him away to like 28-day, like kind of like a sobriety for adults, but also for troubled teens type thing.
Yeah, they even, I think, call it rehab.
Yeah. Cut back to Krusty, who was encouraged by Lisa to go after more serious roles, ends up going to the local community theater, I would assume, and stars in a knockoff of Death of a Salesman, directed by Llewellyn Sinclair, where that is a deep Simpsons character cut.
Yeah.
Because he's appeared before, 1 or 2 other times.
Voiced by...
Oh, the wonderful John Lovitz.
The wonderful John Lovitz.
You want to know something?
What's that?
You can go online right now and buy a licensed Llewellyn Sinclair action figure.
Think so?
I did.
You look
because I had to Google how many have we seen him before, because it feels like we have, and we have. He has a goddamn toy.
How deep their bench is so deep,
right?
When it comes to action figures.
Who haven't they made a toy of at that point?
Who hasn't gotten their face printed onto a pog?
So with Llewellyn. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I love the we can't do Death of a Salesman because we can't afford it. So we're gonna do this knockoff called The Salesman's Bad Day.
Sounds like a kid's movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit, The Salesman's Bad Day really got a hold of me.
And his name isn't Willie Loman, it's Willie Salesman.
Willie Salesman. Yeah.
You ever read or seen?
I have no idea what Death of a Salesman is.
Yeah. I get getting a fucking English degree. At some point, you're forced to read it, probably twice. It's good. I mean, I get why it stood the test of time. It's fucking depressing. Hey,
I got that vibe in this episode.
Shocker. Being a door-to-door salesman is not soul-fulfilling work.
Huh. I can't imagine. Would it make... I'm trying to think here. Because, like, going out to see live theater, not a huge thing in a town of 200,000 people.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't have the opportunity very often. Can you get something out of or get the gist of a play by just reading the play?
I've read 10 plays for every one I've seen.
Huh.
Because that was a part of a lot of my schooling.
Sure.
Reading plays and shit, yeah. But you can. That's, now that you say I think about it, yep.
I'm sure it's better to go see
absolutely,
the play,
but
I was just thinking, like, if I wanted to watch Death of a Salesman, well, maybe that's a big enough one that you can find it on video somewhere of someone.
Oh yeah,
doing
There's one where Dustin Hoffman's Willie Loman and John Malkovich is one of the sons.
Okay,
that's probably the biggest banger of all of them.
A title that big, you could probably find a movie of it, but.
Now that I think, if I sat and thought about it for too long, maybe I'd contradict myself. But I think reading a stage play is more easy to do and get the gist, the full feel of the story than reading a screenplay. Because with the screenplay, it's up to the author's imagination. Because in a movie, you can make anything. We're in space. This part's animated. Now we're underground. Yeah. This shit's claymation. A stage play, you're kind of limited by the stage, you know? So it's like, you can cut, and it's so much more dialogue driven. A play is, like, every screenplay writer, when you start, they tell you, you're talking too much. This is a movie. Think of how movies are. There's lots of just visual. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of movies where the biggest scene you remember, how much dialogue is there in the first 12 minutes of Saving Private Ryan?
Outside of screams,
not
a lot.
Just wails of anguish.
There's so many lines in that script that are just
bones flying.
Most of the first 12 minutes of that script are man bends over and picks up arm.
Exterior, man's exposed innards.
That's still one of the most harrowing things I think I've ever seen in a movie is the scene when they're, the boats are approaching the beach and the camera is in the boat, and you just hear ping, 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 just bullets hitting that door, and then they drop the door. That had to have been the worst feeling to be the first guy in line, and all you hear is bullets ricocheting off that door that is about to not be there anymore.
I watched some, I'm sure it was whatever anniversary of D-Day or something like that, and a very old man who was still coherent and was able to talk in an interview, he said there was a guy on our boat with the drop-down front thing that saved all of our lives because he was paying, because the rest of us was like praying or just like fucking so scared we weren't looking. He was looking over the edge and watching what was happening to the other boats, and he was like, everyone boost each other over the edge. I don't give a fuck if we got to swim 50 more feet. We're all going to die. Look what's like, and that's what we all did. But I think he said a handful stuck around. He's like, I don't know what happened to him, but I don't like their chances.
Oof,
and I can swim. The idea of jumping off the edge of a fucking boat wearing full fucking, I don't know, burlap or whatever they made the clothes with a gun and heavy shit and a shovel and a pack with 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of those guys did, 86 the pack, and fuck, you kept the gun, with 6 rounds. Well, you know what? There was plenty of on that fucking beach, dead guys clutching guns.
Yeah, plenty of guns. Yeah.
What a fucking gong show.
Yeah, just a nightmare.
Was it up the beach fucking 20 miles where the Canadians landed? There wasn't a German in sight. Because it was like a three-way, the Brits, the Canadians, and us. And
they're just strolling along the beach, just long, confident strides.
Is the war over? Someone put up a volleyball net. This
we did. Playing with the boys. Doing the Top Gun scene. Did you see this was a few weeks ago, I saw it floating around Twitter. Somebody was demonstrating I think it's a British bunker from like World War II where there's air vents a little above eye level, but some of them are fake, and it's so they demonstrate it. It's so the enemy would fucking stuff grenades into their air vents and blow up the fucking people inside. So they started building them where not all of the air vents were real. In fact, most of them were fake. So you would stick a grenade in there, but inside the wall, it's just a U-shaped tube, so it spits it back out at your feet.
Shit. That's incredible.
Can you imagine the most Looney Tunes death in all of war?
Incredible.
You're just like, take that, you Brits. And it just half a second later lands on your boot.
Yeah, some German soldier looking down, looking up, turning into a giant sucker.
Scheiße! Yeah.
Or a donkey.
Holding up an sign like Wile E. Coyote. It's brilliant, but boy, I bet you feel stupid before you turn into goo.
So the Salesman's Bad Days.
Sure, yeah.
For the Springfield Community Theater. Krusty is in the lead, and he at first is terrible, but with Llewellyn's urging, he does turn it around. He looks like it's going to work. All is well. Then he goes into his dressing room, and all of his like internal self-doubt sets in. Like he starts seeing like himself as the clown in the mirror, his dad telling him he doesn't got what it takes, and Krusty's a man with demons.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Like literal voices. He describes them as like the voices in his head.
Cut to the camp, and the camp seems to be good for Bart. Mm-hmm. They're helping him deal with his issues and how like kind of seeing what the error in his ways. They put the tax down. They have his mom go in to sit down to see if he'll stop her, and he does.
The most detailed Marge butt we've ever seen.
Yeah, too detailed.
Yeah,
that dress ain't that tight.
That being said, though, Marge pretty caked up.
Yeah, got double cheeked up.
She's not full on dump truck Pixar mom ass, but she got a little booty on her.
She thick?
No,
not dummy thick.
No, not dummy thick. She's dragging a wagon. She's doing all right. Good for her. 3 dumpy kids and still looking good.
So all is well for Bart until I think he has to make amends. That's part of his penance, part of the 12 steps.
Yep.
He goes to make amends, and it's working out well until he has to meet with Willie. And while meeting up with Willie to apologize, he falls off the prank wagon. He finds the chalk.
Yep. Prank relapse.
Yeah, he has a prank relapse because they use the sideline chalk to spell shit.
Yeah, to write a mean message to Skinner.
So he now wants to do the ultimate prank. He sets up this giant apology press conference, which... a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a shithead. Is he that big of a shithead? And he has a fucking mountain of water balloons held up by nets above all of this. Hell of a production for a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah. When did he do this? Where did he get the net? How did no one notice?
The man hours to fill that many water balloons.
Yeah. What was the plan to release it? Because it kind of just falls on its own because of the weight of the balloons.
Yeah. The timing was amazing. And all is well until Marge sits down in the crowd, and so Bart now has a little bit of a moral dilemma, and she just nothing happens. She doesn't get saved. Along with everyone else, she gets soaked. She just stands up and says, "Motherhood sucks." I thought it was kind of just weak writing.
Yeah, especially that's the end of that story.
Yeah,
like, that's how you end it. Yeah. Okay.
So then, that is the end. Yeah, you're totally right. So because now it's all Krusty for the rest of the episode. Krusty's about to make his big stage debut. During the play, he panics not pre-show, but he does that too. But like on stage, he panics as the crowd's quiet and clowns. They gotta get some laughs. This crowd's dying. And he's at this point so traumatized by his psychosis, he takes a fucking claw hammer off the wall and just starts braining himself with it. And the crowd cheered. You know how fucking off-putting it would be if a man grabbed a real hammer and just struck himself in the face? You would not sleep good ever again.
If you were just walking to Chipotle and that was happening on the sidewalk in front of you, you would go to Qdoba. You'd go to a different burrito place.
Incredible. And it's a huge hit, and he's a showman. So he just rolls with it. Now he's singing silly songs. He's doing dances, and Llewellyn loves it because he's just fucking he's a goddamn fucking loose cannon, that Llewellyn. He's all fucked up on Ambien or whatever. He's
Valium.
Valium. There we go. Yeah.
He's like, I took 6 Valium. That's a lot of Valium.
That's too much Valium.
That is
Llewellyn.
too much Valium. Not to put a judgment on you, Llewellyn, but that's too much Valium.
I tell you how to live, Llewellyn, but you should talk to somebody.
Yeah, you have a pretty serious Valium problem.
Solid. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Tell you what, season 29, pretty goddamn good.
Yep, pretty good season. There's a fun joke earlier. I forget why he's in Bart's treehouse, but Milhouse is there wearing his pajamas, and his pajamas have race cars all over them. And Bart's like, why are you in your pajamas? He's like, well, I want to be a race car driver someday. And Bart goes, do you know how many of them die? And Milhouse freaks out and like pulls the pajamas away from his body and goes, oh, they don't show you that on the pajamas. Jesus, Milhouse.
Because he's talking about the dream he has where he wakes up and he's out in the world in his pajamas. It's like, you're in your pajamas now.
Oh, right. Yep.
That was for God. Yeah. We haven't had a real Milhouse-centric episode in a while.
No, I had a similar thought regarding Flanders during this bit.
Absolutely.
Because he pops up later, and I was like, oh, right, Flanders.
Look at that. Look who's back.
Yeah. Shady's back.
Yeah.
Tell a friend. Episode 15 is No Good Read Goes Unpunished. We're doing the Every Itchy and Scratchy marathon, which I think that's fun because they did the Simpson one.
Oh, yeah. What was that? But for like the FXX launch or something?
They even show an FXX banner behind an airplane.
Oh,
during
did they really?
This intro.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
And it's hashtag Every Itchy Scratchy Ever.
Yeah.
And it was hashtag Every Simpsons Ever when they did that marathon. They aired all of them in fucking sequential order. That was a big deal because the Simpsons weren't on any cable network at that point.
I always said the funny thing with the Simpsons is they were real precious about giving the rights out to any cable network, but any local TV station could syndicate it. Like the CBS affiliate in Minot, North Dakota, to this day has Simpsons on late at night.
Yeah, but they just wouldn't give it out to cable for whatever reason. But I remember when that was going on, you would like I wasn't watching it, but I would check in with a buddy of mine who loves The Simpsons, being like, where are they at now? Oh, I'm watching this episode from season 19,
And did they start with episode 1, season 1, and just go?
Yep.
No other programming?
Yep.
That's a good choice.
Yep, that's the way to do it, I think.
We've talked about it on here before, but when MTV2 on January 1st, 2000, aired every music video MTV had ever played alphabetically.
That's crazy.
And my brother was still living at home where they had a satellite dish, and I remember asking him, he was like, I think they petered out around G. They realized this is a colossal mistake.
Oh, the network stopped
they pulled it.
Oh, that sucks.
Because I think it was in April and they were only up to G. It's like, but think of how bad, like you could just get stuck in a fucking run of forgettable trash,
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate oddball shit like that, but I can see we're gonna lose this network. like we made a colossal mistake.
But how did someone not do that math ahead of time and be like, how long would this take if we did this?
I bet they just wildly underestimated how many people would find this interesting enough to watch.
I guess.
And I can't remember if they went by song. I feel like they went by song. They didn't go by artist.
So I was about to say, if you go by artist, then you're going to get, we ran 8 straight Guns N' Roses videos. It was Guns N' Roses for 3 hours.
You could almost advertise that, like, hey, tomorrow's Bowie Day. You know? But I think they wanted the mix mash of like, this is a 1980 new wave song. Here's a 2000 Nelly song.
Right.
Here's a 1995 whatever song. Like,
yeah, if I were running the program, that's how I would do it. I would do it in alphabetical by song.
Yeah. I wonder what the first one was. Like, because some song had to be first.
Yeah.
I bet there's like a rap song that starts with like, and, like with multiple A's. Yeah.
like how you used to try to get to the top of the phone book.
Right, yeah. Every service has a triple A.
Yeah.
Like, AAA locksmith. Every locksmith has AAA in the title because no one has a discerning eye for locksmiths.
There's a not 2 blocks from here, AAA bail bonds. It's just like, oh, you guys came from a time where that mattered, like where you are in the phone book mattered.
That's interesting. That's a good point. Not quite as relevant anymore.
Yeah. So they're watching the Itchy and Scratchy Marathon, and they've clearly been at it for a while because, like, they're almost comatose. Yeah. They're like, they can barely react to anything. They can barely even laugh. I think because Krusty breaks in at some point in between episodes to intro the next episode, implying that this is live, and Krusty has been here for, I think they're deep into the 10,000s on episodes.
It's like a telethon that never ends.
Exactly. Marge, fed up with these TVs, get it out of here. And so they all take out their devices. Nope, get those out of here. God damn it. Bart is playing the Simpsons version of Minecraft, which is called Tunnelcraft, but he tries to play it off like it's educational. Yeah. Like, no, you get resources and build historical monuments, but can you die in it? Well, yeah, then it's a video game. That's a fun mom rule. Can you die in it? So she takes away all the devices. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go read books. Good on Marge. More people should read books.
And what was the hours of the library? I know I'm jumping ahead here. That fucking cracked me up.
10 to 2.
A city that has giant fucking everything. But 10 to 2.
10 to 2. 4 hours that library is open. That's so bonkers. They get there just as the librarian is locking up. She goes, at 2:00, the silverfish take over.
And fucking poor Milhouse is trapped in there with them.
Yeah, she locked him in, like, as if it's, 2:00, locking the doors. Fuck you, kid.
Shrug your shoulders. What could be done?
I know it's a bug, but like a silverfish, they're like awful bugs to have, right? Don't they like ruin shit?
Oh yeah, but they're not like poisonous. But yeah. I think they're almost like moths or cockroaches. They get into shit.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what they can ruin, but they eat through stuff, I think, yeah. Look big and gross, but I think are harmless to you. But a big, gross bug is emotionally hard enough.
Right, I don't want a big, gross bug.
If a silverfish fell on your head right now, you would scream in a way you wouldn't want anyone to hear. We would have to start the podcast over in a month.
No, we would end the podcast.
Yeah, because you would be ended.
Yeah, I would have a psychological breakdown. I would shit in this recliner.
I had not sure, I didn't take a good enough look at it. It was either a wolf spider or a huntsman spider fall on my lips one time in a garage. And the fact that I'm here is the most masculine thing I've ever done. The fact that I'm still on the planet. I was working in my garage cleaning it up, like fucking, it was like the first really nice weekend in like June or something. Or no, actually it was the last nice weekend. So I was like, okay, take care of all, like in August. It's like,
oh, recently, like this summer?
No, my last apartment, I bet it was 2019. Okay. And cleaning it out. Something was more work than I thought it was going to. Something was heavy or something. And I set it down. I was gassed. I just plopped down on a folding chair. And I kicked back to do like an exhale, like whoof. And fucking one in a million, a spider the size of, I don't know, a fucking quarter with legs that were an inch long. And I didn't even know. I thought it was like, because I'd been putting shit up in the rafters, I thought something had just fallen like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I fucking spit it and like, poof. When I saw the size of the fucking thing that ran away, I was like, no, that was too fucking big. Jesus Christ. If that would have landed in my mouth, game over.
Did you run screaming from the garage? Because that's what I'd have done.
Shockingly, I think I was stunned by it. Like, what the? But part of me was like, holy fuck, that's kind of cool how big that spider is. But like, not that the fact that it was on my fucking lips. Imagine if a kid was riding a bike and he saw that there's a fucking goblin in apartment 114 that spits giant spiders out like it's a fucking Mario 2 end boss. Like, ugh.
It's you and Birdo and Sunglasses Mouse just chilling with the big rooster head on the wall.
Flying fireball with sunglasses on that spits fireballs.
Yep, Fanto.
Three-headed snake, Triclyde.
Triclyde, yep.
Fanto.
Fanto's terrifying.
Fanto's a good band name.
I bet that has to be a band name. Someone has taken Fanto and used it as their band name. As soon as you pick up that key, Fanto's on you, baby.
Yeah.
Fanto will fuck you up. So that's why you got to run a little ways and throw the key down, and then run a little ways and throw the key down.
We're thinking of something different. You're right. That's Fanto. But there's an end boss that's a sideways oval-shaped fireball with sunglasses on that flies, I think, in a circle or a figure 8. And you have to jump on platforms and wait for him to spit his fireball at you. You miss it. You pick up one of those block things and drop it on him.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah, yep. Fanto is the mask that chases you when you pick up a key.
Yeah, that took so much patience that 8-year-old me struggled. Just want to beat this level.
God damn it.
It takes so long.
Yeah, Fanto's the stuff of nightmares.
I don't like you, Fanto.
That'd be a good tattoo, the Fanto mask.
Oh, God,
That'd be a real good tattoo.
Yeah. I thought you were first going to say Halloween costume. Like, how the fuck are you going to pull that off? It'd be tough to get it in and out of businesses.
It's just the mask, but it's the size of my body.
Yeah, it's fucking 5 feet in diameter, just your knees down, knocking drinks off. I'm sorry, I'm Fanto. It's a great idea. I'm sorry. On paper, it seemed wonderful.
Sorry, Fanto is sorry.
Fanto's very sorry.
Fanto just needs to use the bathroom.
I know you didn't grab a key. That's my thing, but
I bet you have keys, though.
Yeah, Fanto feels terrible. Yeah, I feel like a real asshole if you don't have keys.
So use it as an anti-drunk driving campaign. Give Fanto your keys.
Come on, I'll calm down. I'll go lay down somewhere.
I see all these empties. You killed all of these. Fanto needs your keys.
Give them to Fanto.
Give your keys to Fanto.
A little highway patrolman hat perched on top of him. Like, come on.
Lieutenant Fanto.
You know the drill. Come on. I need keys. You've played the game.
Fanto for Mario 2 or the huge angry sun from Mario 3. Which is more terrifying?
God, I think Fanto, I have more of a nostalgia for the sun because I'm more of a Mario 3 boy, but sure. Fanto has soulless eyes.
Yep. I think Fanto is scarier and the sun is tougher. The sun's fucking hard to get through. The sun fucks me up in them desert levels.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It's one of those ones you got to get that right speed, jump rhythm going, but if anything stops your momentum, then it's a dick.
He does that horse shit where if like you're running forward and he swoops down, you jump and then pull back to air control a little to let him go under you. He then slows down so you land on him. Like, it's such horse shit.
It isn't a solid, path that you can trust.
Right.
He can alter it to try to fuck you up.
Yeah, it's not like jump rope where you just stay in the middle and jump in time. Like, it's fucking sun.
If you learn anything from this podcast, learn this one. You're on the sun level on the desert world, World 2 in Mario 3. Take the fight to him. You just go balls to the wall, and as soon as he dips, you jump. He'll always go underneath you, and he'll be too early on in his maneuver to come back and get you.
Or take Marlon's coward's way out, which is enter with a leaf and just fly through the level like a coward.
You're using P-wings on that level?
Not P-wings. You can get a Tanuki suit.
Yeah.
You know, use a leaf, not the P-wings. Use the leaf.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fly the whole way, but you can get a good chunk of it.
Exactly, yeah. You can get through it anyway.
Want to know what's a satisfying feeling? Killing that thing with a shell.
Oh, I'll bet. Or a star.
Yeah. Because a shell, you can be little Mario, get a turtle, and kill that fucking sun. You're God now.
Mario destroyed the sun.
All the Koopa Troopas will worship you.
They should make that game. I would play the shit out of that game.
An RPG where Mario was convinced to fucking race of fucking subhuman turtle people that he's got.
Yeah. When you pitch it that way, it's weird.
Yeah.
I more meant like he beats Bowser on the first stage and then is the new Bowser.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how he would change. He'd have to have a crown. Bowser sometimes has a crown.
Oh, yeah. Bowser usually has a crown. You definitely throw a crown on top of the Mario hat. Yep. I'm God now. Like Mario does. He's done with the yahoos and let's go.
Yeah, real sinister.
I'm your God.
Like Thanos. Thanos in coveralls.
Kamek, get over here. We have talked enough Mario over these couple of years that we could have just had a Mario podcast.
That's true. I mean, I'd be pretty hopeless outside of the first three. I can fucks with you a little bit with Mario Kart and Super Mario World.
Sure.
Outside of that,
useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that my Yoshi knowledge is pathetic.
I could rock some of the later ones like Odyssey and Galaxy.
Oh, no
like
shit.
Some of the later 3D ones. I know a fair bit about Sunshine.
Fuck with Paper Mario.
I never have. I've always heard they were good.
Is that where the babies come from? They're a character that shows up in like Mario sports games from like.
I mean, Baby Mario comes from Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo.
Okay, there you go. You're right. Now that you say that, I knew it was Super Nintendo. I've asked that question before.
I don't know where the rest of them came from, but I don't know if they're also in that game or not. But Mario Talk
coming soon.
It's a me, the podcast. It's a podcast. We'll workshop the names. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming. So they find themselves a modern bookstore after the Silverfish have taken over the library. This is like clearly like a Barnes and Noble where not a lot of books in a Barnes and Noble.
Interesting.
I think there definitely are more in real life than are portrayed here, but like. Yeah, a lot of stuffed animals and board games and shit in a Barnes and Noble.
You say that the things that are sticking out in front of your face are often not books.
Yeah, you got to kind of look for books.
Yeah.
At one point, Marge accidentally says the word Amazon, and the guy who's about to buy a bunch of books just orders those books on Amazon, and the clerk is bummed.
Yeah.
They finally find a real deal old timey bookstore, and that's fun.
Yeah, like in the woods. It's not even in
like
town.
out of town.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a couple here in town. You ever go to a fun old timey bookstore?
Oh yeah, I've been to a handful. I'm a BDS Books ride or die man.
Attaboy.
Yeah. I used to go to Dakota Books on 8th Street.
Oh, I don't even know that one.
So thin, I had to walk sideways down them like a fucking clown.
Have to bring a child.
Yeah, I'd have to send a child like it's like a fucking canary in a goddamn coal mine. Like, see if they got any Archies down in the shadows. I watched the woman that worked there was 88 years old, 4'10", 75 pounds, just a little petrified woman. And I watched a 60-year-old tall, bulbous man come in and confidently ask if they had any used pornography because they dealt in used books. And she's like, there's a pile right there. And he sat and lovingly thumbed through a pile of Hustlers that looked like they'd been fucked. Sat there on his butt like a 1950s Rockwell painting of a kid trading baseball cards with his best pal. And I remember the woman was peering over the edge and her neck extended like the aliens from Fire in the Sky. She was peering so hard at the man sitting on the floor like an animal looking at used Hustlers. Dude, bottom mound of them. Just a thick, 10-inch thick slab of used Hustlers. This is all at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. And
sun out.
Me and my friend were just overjoyed by this. We were still like, and a very elderly man came in to join the fucking Fire in the Sky lady. And they just lament, like, I've never had any need for that. It's like, haven't you, fucking granny goodness? That's what
like their glasses that you never needed.
Yeah, like leg braces.
Right,
yeah. And the gentleman, like, I never had it. Never even thought of purchasing something like that.
Right, okay, old timer.
Give me a break.
You got the penny shows down at the wharf. We know what you were up to. The naughty flapper girls. that fucking guy though, like, sort through Hustlers and cherry pick some?
Like, is he looking for back issues? He's like collecting
like
a run.
certain ones that you need? Because like
he didn't buy them all. They were still sitting there.
Insane. Like porno mags are like pencil erasers. Just grab a handful. Every one is the same as the next.
He likes the cartoons.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Ooh, this one has that good book review I was looking for.
The interview with Salman Rushdie.
Ooh. My fucking dumb nerd brain translated that to Solomon Grundy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
Why not?
Why not?
It's a fictional character.
Born on a Monday. So while they're at this old-timey bookstore, they're looking around. Marge finds an old book. I think it's called The Princess in the Garden, which was her favorite book when she was a little girl. So she's picking that up. Lisa's looking at a couple things. Bart, in the meantime, just found a place with good Wi-Fi and is like trying to buy tickets to TunnelCon, which is like a tunnel craft convention, which Minecraft conventions are a real thing. So he wants to go to this, and then he picks up a copy. The old man working there, or old lady, I forget which. Old man, I think.
God, yeah, I think so.
Recommends that if he really wants to defeat his father, he should buy Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Have you ever read Art of War?
That was my question for you. I never have page
I own
through
it. I've never read it.
It's small, right? I think it's a quick read.
It's a quick read, but I've never read it. Own it.
Never had enemies that needed to be defeating.
No, but like it's one of those things where like you can apply it to everything in your life kind of thing, or at least that's what people say. Yeah. But I've never given it a try. I should. I forget exactly why, but Milhouse has this fucking Mary-Kate and Ashley book that he's so excited.
Bye Bye Boyfriend.
Yep, Bye Bye Boyfriend. Like, it's the only one that I haven't read. Sometimes I feel like the third sister. Oh my God, Milhouse.
The special boy.
Marge excited to share her favorite childhood book with Lisa, and it is troublesome. Like, it is very imperialistic. It is about this young British girl who goes and lives in South Africa and like captures natives and makes them serve indenturedly. That's probably not a real word, but
baptisms against their will.
Yep, like it's insane. And Lisa points out that like another one bites the dust. Another childhood favorite.
A look into the camera.
Yep. Bart is using Sun Tzu to defeat Homer. He lures him out to this fucking quicksand swamp with chocolate milk balls, which is funny because we were just talking about Whoppers last week. Yeah. Chocolate milk ball and a malted milk ball, probably the same thing. These are Whoppers, if I were to assume.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
The only other like chocolate ball candy is Milk Duds, and that's something different.
That's caramel, I think.
Yeah, Milk Duds are good.
I'll fuck some. You pay for it. It's work.
Yep. They'll pull a tooth out of your head if you gotta lose.
Probably shouldn't eat them with as many crowns as I have, but goddamn, that's sometimes the boys got it.
I got a little gum recession in front. I could probably lift this whole section out with a Milk Dud. My front 5 bottom teeth just spit them out.
$7,500 in fucking dental work from one box of Milk Duds at a movie.
Yep.
Totally worth it.
Oh God,
it's so good.
I mean, they're essentially chocolate dots, as I discussed before. I'm a dots boy. Lures Homer out into this fucking swamp, and what he wants is TunnelCon tickets. And Homer, okay,
has
fine.
to.
Yep, I'm defeated. Marge, in the meantime, has this dream about it's about that author and another author who I'm forgetting, talking about how some stuff doesn't age well, but feel free to edit it. Feel free to do your thing. So Marge goes through and just guts this book. Yeah. Just takes out every questionable, objectionable thing in the whole book. And she's reading it, and Lisa doesn't like the book. Yeah. She's like, oh, it sounds like she's This princess is really perfect and really well adjusted and doesn't have an emotional arc to go through at all.
Yeah.
And Marge is like, yeah, kinda, I suppose. And then Lisa like stares down the barrel of the camera and is like, sometimes the things that, used to be fine now aren't politically correct anymore. And what do we do about that? And the camera pans over and there's a picture of Apu sitting on the
Signed by Apu.
Signed by Apu.
Lisa has a signed 8x10 of the local convenience store owner by her bed.
Which that's funny.
Yeah. And I am glad they did address it in some way on the show, because do you think we ever hear Apu voiced by Hank Azaria again after this?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
And
what spurred this?
The problem with Apu, that film from Hari Kondabolu.
Oh.
Yeah, he made a documentary about like why Apu is a problem.
Oh, no
essentially.
shit.
And I always told myself when we first started getting into this show that I knew that they addressed it, but wasn't sure how. And I was like, I need to watch that movie.
Oh.
So I'm ready for it. Guess what I didn't do?
Watch that movie?
I didn't watch that movie.
So you weren't ready for it?
Because I didn't know it was coming up this soon, and it spaced my mind. But from what I understand, knowing nothing and being white, from what I understand, Kondabolu's movie is about like how it sucks being an Indian person in America when the only Indian person on television is Apu.
Yeah.
Because like there's no representation. So people like the bullies in your class just shout, "Thank you, come again" at you, because that's the only Indian they've ever seen on television, and how that's a problem.
I think the only other on TV Indians ever would have seen, the occasional doctor might be an Indian,
Yeah, which is also a stereotype,
Yeah, probably a slightly less hurtful one than a fucking Quickie Bar owner, but yeah.
Yeah. It's apparently Hari Kondabolu did not care for this at all.
Really?
This response of theirs, which I thought the same thing. Once I realized what they were doing, I was like, "That's it." You could have made a whole episode about this and really addressed some things, but Lisa just turns to the camera and is like, "Oh, I guess that's politically incorrect now," and then says something along the lines of maybe we'll address it down the line, but probably not. Yeah. It's kind of a dick response.
Well, I mean, The Simpsons, I kind of almost like that, because that reminds me of the olden days of where the writers were real fucking fuck you,
Yeah.
Might not be the best timing for it during this, but I kind of like the petulant Simpson writer.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, and maybe they do address it more, but I think they could have done something a little more. This seems like a fuck you, is what it seems like.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes, with the Apu. We see him, but he doesn't talk. Will he ever talk again?
You know, yeah, I've never thought of that, but yeah, he sure doesn't say much this season.
I bet they eventually replace his voice. I bet even after that they don't use him much, would be my guess.
Yeah, which that's worse almost, because now you have an Indian American character who just doesn't talk.
Yeah, or rarely, if ever, appears on TV. I bet.
Right, that's not better.
Yeah,
I don't know. I told myself I would watch that, and I'm fucking mad that this snuck up on me so quickly. We've been doing this for 2 fucking years. But I'll watch it. I'll watch it and get back to you. Maybe we'll watch it once we catch this show.
There we go.
And we have a hole to fill content-wise.
Some Simpsons adjacent shit.
Yeah, well, we'll fill your content hole. Don't you worry.
Please don't.
So Milhouse and Bart and Homer are at Tunnelcraft Con. It's just a lot of Minecraft jokes, a lot of oh, here's a trailer for the movie, and it's just two pixel swords hitting each other, and then the crowd erupts and loses their mind.
That was good. The witty banter we get later.
Yeah, it's fun. Daniel Radcliffe is here. He's like in a fucking Minecraft costume, and he's like, oh, wait, no, I'm Daniel Radcliffe in here, and I love this, but it's the only way I can attend it anonymously. And Homer takes the head off, and then the crowd seemingly tears Daniel Radcliffe apart.
There's nothing left.
And takes him away.
Yeah.
Milhouse finally tells Homer what's up with Bart and why Bart is able to defeat Homer thanks to the Sun Tzu book. And Homer's gonna break off a piece of that ass. That's not the phrasing at all. Homer's gonna get back at Bart.
Yeah.
And then Marge and Lisa go to, I don't know, some college, I think, and they run into these two, I think, English professors there, and they explain that, like, oh, well, that author that you liked, but now all of her work is problematic. Like, actually, she was like a lesbian trailblazer, and all of the stuff in that book that you think is problematic was actually done ironically and in protest. And it's like, okay, sure, but then Marge is like, how much of that do you actually believe, though? And they're like, some.
Yeah.
So that's bullshit also.
Yeah. They get drunk. Yeah. Just to help numb their thoughts.
Yeah. But I think that is a thing when it comes to like, oh, that thing that's problematic. No, it was done ironically.
Yeah.
You know, those people are for sure out there.
Totally, yeah.
The people that defend problematic shit rather than just being like, you're right, it was fucked up. You know,
I liked in this scene because Lisa kind of set this up, and Lisa brought it. It was like, okay, Mom, these are so and so and so and so. They are English professors here and there. You guys get to talk, and I'm going to sit at this table and pretend to grade papers.
Yeah.
And her like doing like holding a pretend pen grading paper. Like, that's awesome. That in her head, that's child fun.
Yeah. And I loved her playing pretend because she only like pantomimes a couple things here because it only lasts a second. But she's like, and checks a mark and nods approvingly. And then immediately the second thing she looks at is like, like there is disapproval. Yeah. Even in pretending to grade papers, she disapproves. That's the end of that Marge and Lisa storyline. I think pretty weird and a little crowbarred in here just to clap back at the Apu thing.
Totally.
I thought that would have gone somewhere more interesting. Like, oh, this thing that Marge used to love turns out is racist and bad when viewed through a modern lens. Like, you could have done...
That's a good premise to be wasting.
Like, that could have been the A story in a better episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homer, in the meantime, is reading Sun Tzu and knows all the tricks to war, and he brings Flanders around, and he and Flanders become pals. So much so that he starts dressing like Flanders and growing a mustache over his stubble.
So good.
It's such a good visual. He has long hairs over his brown stubble.
Oh, I do not like those long hairs.
It's a creepy, wispy mustache.
And his glasses are somehow less noticeable than Ned's.
Yep. Like, yeah, if you're not looking for the line at the temple that is the bow of the glasses, it's...
I can see mission accomplished. I was creeped out. I can't imagine what Bart was like.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. Yeah. And they like go to silent movie night, and it's Bart, Flanders, and Homer, and of course it's Homer's talking like Flanders. Everything's diddly-iddly and all this. The fucking theater starts on fire and everybody goes...
These are decades-old nitrate prints. I never tell the organist.
Oh, God, when they run out and the whole building's on fire, but you still hear the organ playing. They never tell the organist. It was very funny.
And I like how they're back to next week. They're just painting over the burn marks.
Just paint over the char on the outside of the building. Bart surrenders. He's like, okay, listen, I can't do this anymore. I just want Homer back, please. And Homer peels off his fake mustache and takes off his Flanders outfit, and we're back to normal.
Fine.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's a little squandered.
Some of the Sun Tzu shit was good.
Exactly. Probably my favorite shit in there, but like maybe I'd have gotten more out of the Marge and Lisa thing had I watched that Hari Kondabolu movie.
Yeah.
But I came away from it being like, you just said fuck you on Fox.
Yeah.
Like that's you just came out and you're like, sometimes the things you like don't age well, huh? Well,
Kind of like what I bet part of it is too is like they're all buddies with Hank Azaria and he's bummed about I don't get to do this character I've been doing for 28 years. So it's like, they're like, hey, fuck you for doing this to Harry.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But like, so nobody wins, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe no one is the good guy. I don't know. But I like Hari Kondabolu. I like his comedy.
Oh, I didn't know it was a comedian.
Oh, yeah, Hari Kondabolu.
Oh, I thought it was like a documentarian.
No, Hari Kondabolu is a comedian.
I was like, is this some hard-hitting fucking, like fourth wall, like shook the world to its core? I mean, shook the fucking Simpsons enough that
it was a thing, you know?
I remember what it was kind of, or I didn't know that's what it was, but I knew something was in the news that made the Simpsons stop letting Hank Azaria voice Apu.
Yeah, it was that movie that Hari made.
Okay.
His stand-up is good. Not like my favorite shit ever, but it's good. I think he falls in that like W. Kamau Bell folder of comedy where it's like real thinky, real political, but still pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When you mentioned Bell, it's like, okay.
I think he and W. Kamau Bell might have a podcast together.
Oh, no
I
shit.
think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Bell has one right now.
Yeah, I should watch that movie. I will watch that movie.
That's your homework.
Yep.
We never do our homework, but by God, this time
ever.
it's your homework.
We're banking all our homework for the spring when we catch this show.
We're fucking COVID too.
Yep.
The revenge.
We're going to watch Safe Men.
That's a deep cut.
That means between now and spring when we catch the show, I have to go back and listen to every episode and pull out
jot down.
Like, here we go. We said we would do this. We said we would do this.
Season 7, Homicide Life on the Streets.
I got to listen to Pet Sounds. Yeah. Nathan has to listen to Champagne Jam. We'll figure out what we're going to do.
We have such fulfilling personal lives. It's going to be hard to squeeze it, but we will.
It'll be tough for sure.
We're up to episode 16, King Lear. Episode starts with the parents and kids. I think it's everyone. I think it's moms, dads, and the children in the music room.
Yep.
It's time to pick your instruments. The band teacher, who now has a name, I can't think of it.
Mr. Largo.
Oh, good pull. Yeah. And it's like, I don't care which ones you pick. You're all going to suck anyway.
I love how we have fleshed out his character over the years.
He's real spicy. Yeah. He's a very emotional man.
Doesn't want to be here. Yeah. Hates his job.
Gay, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we've seen him out.
I think you're right.
With like when Smithers is exploring other people.
Yeah.
Like that Largo's out on the scene.
Yeah, like in the background at the bar that Smithers is at. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I
remember when we got old enough to be in band. Did your school have music? Was it allowed? Like it's just like the guy's footloose in it.
A valid question. Yeah. But yes, we did have music.
So like, you seem like someone that probably at least dabbled in band.
I played trumpet.
Yeah.
I was a trumpeter.
How did the choice get made?
I think it was, what do you want to play and we'll make it work. I was lucky my mom was a trumpeter and still owned her trumpet. So like I never had to like get a fucking loaner from the school or anything. I was lucky that way.
I think ours was big enough. There's the cool shit you couldn't just take. Like I think if you wanted to play any kind of drum, you had to have taken piano lessons. That was
weird.
Yeah, that was just so they didn't get some fucking ADHD kid fucking shoving his cock into a bass drum, you know? They wanted someone that maybe had interest in music. You know?
Because every kid, I think at least when I was a kid, if you let any kid pick an instrument, you would have 15 drummers.
Yeah.
You know?
And if it's a horn, it's all saxophone players in the early 90s. Yeah, because they were still kind of cool.
Sure. No saxophones where I came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You had a couple of trumpeters, a handful of flautists, like 2 percussionists.
It must have been a thing where a bunch of the popular girls played clarinet because everyone fought for clarinet.
You had a few clarinets. Yep.
My buddy Casper, I think, was kind of cajoled into playing bassoon. Say, hey man, we need a bassoon player. I know that thing's going to be a bitch to carry onto the bus for the next 4 years, but please do it.
Oh man, carrying an instrument on the bus. I like looking back now, I think of like, what instrument would I have wanted to play? Like if I could choose it now, be like, boy, an upright bass would be cool, but fuck you.
Lugging that monster. God,
You'd have had to be driven to school every day. They wouldn't have let you on the bus with that.
They got a little fucking, the kind of trailer you'll haul a riding lawnmower on just to haul your bass around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a little toy hauler.
An enclosed trailer for the stand-up bass.
Oh, God. And then you'd have caught all that shit.
Yeah. Oh, my, yeah.
I always liked playing, like, you would have music class, whether you were in the band or not. Like, if you're not in the band, you're playing the fucking recorder or a wood block, whatever we got for you. I remember occasionally getting to play, I don't know what they're called, but they're drums. They look like bongos, but they're 4 feet across, and they have a pedal on them that you can bend the sound with. So like, and you hit it with a big mallet, like bong, and then you hit, and then you stand on the pedal to make the sound go boom.
Really? We didn't get to fuck with any cool shit. I think like required music class ended in like 6th grade. I think they saved all that shit for the kids that took the class, like you want to be here type shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we were the same, like music class up till 6th grade, and then after that you never see that room again if you're not in the band.
That was a fucking skid. I never went down that hallway. That hallway had some of the highest GPAs. It's usually the dum-dums aren't in band,
right?
Choir, but like, I was fucking either. I took the art classes. That was the one thing I took.
Yeah, which we didn't have. Yeah. I wish I knew what that drum was called. Yeah. Like I said, it's huge.
I can picture it.
It's a monster.
Yep.
But yeah, boom.
I have seen Bugs Bunny play that drum countless times.
100 times. Yep. Yeah, I don't have the rhythm to be a percussionist or the coordination.
Yeah.
Like I can't make one hand do one thing while the other hand does a different thing. I don't have that. I don't have that.
Could have said something gross there and I didn't. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. I mean, I can make this hand do this while the other hand holds the phone, but like
the men's basketball team at MSUM say differently, but we'll move on. Couldn't stop it.
I kind of gave you permission. I kind of opened the door that you had hesitated in front of.
Tugging and plugging. Get out of here, Roy Clark. You're ruining the mood. Roy likes to watch. Put on that banjo.
They disagree that he can't do one thing with one and one with the other. Get a real fucking Neil Peart action in this locker room.
These hand jobs are too prog. No discernible rhythm.
Trying to get tugged off in 3/7 time. Can't focus.
Playing me like a bass, all these thumb tapping, it kind of
hurts. Keeps shouting, "Take it for a walk." Boom, 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 boom. I always loved, speaking of upright bass, I've always loved how that fucking Mitch Hedberg album, Mitch Altogether, just has a guy
accompaniment with the bass.
Just thumping the bass in the background. I have always thought that was so brilliant.
That's the only one of his I ever owned. Up to this day, but there's still a beat up copy of that up in my visor, which still has CD holder in it. And like tracks 2 through 10 don't work. So it's like the first 7 minutes and the last 20.
Yeah, I've always thought like that's brilliant. Yeah. That's why isn't every comedy special done that way?
There's an open mic in the cities that used to have piano accompaniment. Which,
that's fun.
Yeah. I think that was nice.
Yeah. Looking back, I think that's the actual answer to like at your age, what instrument do you wish you could play? It's piano.
Is it? Yeah. I think you play the piano, it opens up a lot of musical doors for you. You got to learn music at such a base level. Like, you got you're learning all the theory shit. So,
that would be nice. But also, where the fuck do you find a piano?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well
There are free pianos. There are 20 free pianos in this town tonight. Do you have the men and the equipment necessary to get it out of that basement?
Right. You have 11 people and an elaborate pulley system.
Have you ever been in good enough shape in your life to do what you're about to do?
Because you can't jostle a piano too much. You'll break it.
Yep. So fucking big.
I don't think anyone has ever moved a piano and not had to retune it when they're done moving it.
Oh my God.
And then you're calling a professional. I don't think Joe Schmo can tune a piano.
Pianos are like printers. Someone will give you one, because the ink costs more than the printer. The tuning costs more than the piano.
We could go get a piano tonight and send you back to Minneapolis with it.
Fucking playing the fucking boogie woogie blues.
You're up in your room. You shake my arms, but you don't. None of the keys are right. You don't know how to play.
Bonk, 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 bonk,
bonk, bonk. Hey, Goose, knock it off.
Just jealous is all.
You got a foot up on there stretching a hammy.
Oof, I better have some sweats on for that one.
I really dolled up today and got my sweats on.
Look at you.
Yeah.
It's juicy? No, Echo.
Yeah, I put on my best pair of Mark Echo sweatpants for you.
Still making Mark Echo sweats. Good for him.
Yeah, Mark Echo's still somehow making clothes for fat guys who like hip hop.
He made good clothes.
Yeah.
Yep. He had with the fat man in mind.
Yep. They don't say juicy on the butt. They say beefy.
Beef boy.
Broth.
Gross. Wait till I start sweating. What?
Looking for that bouillon.
So you were a band kid, Bart Simpson wasn't.
Yeah. So, you also not? I forget.
Nope.
Did we say? Okay.
Nope. I think none of my friends were. I think of my mom claims she wanted to get me in a piano, but I don't remember it. And I remember fucking everything. So that might be some fiction that she had. I think she wishes she would one time I saw an ad in the paper, but I think if I would have gotten into it young, I could see myself have gotten the bug. Even though I ain't fucking musically talented. I took guitar lessons. It did not fucking stick. I am just...
Yeah, I have a bass guitar in that closet that I can't play.
Yeah. Oh, I finally sold the bass guitar that I couldn't play. I had it for 20 years.
Good work.
Yeah.
Way to part with it.
Maria Kondo'd that shit. Took it to a pawn shop where it was also not the same one it was purchased, but had a fucking Circle of Life vibe to it.
Yeah. At one point in my life when I had too much money, I had 3 bass guitars I couldn't play. I was like,
6 strings, so they're just outrageous?
No, I was like...
Fretless 6 strings?
I was like, well, I do probably need an acoustic one and a 5-string one. So I don't have to tune my top string, if I want to play drop D. Now I can just have it. Guess how many times I played drop D or needed to play drop D? It's
your Korn cover band.
Yeah. Oh boy, it was a guitar that looked like someone from Korn made it. Yeah. A lot of points.
Yeah. You can fucking snag your nutsack if you're wearing basketball shorts.
Opened up my bag trying to play Got the Life.
I got too into it. The guitar straps are way too long on that band. Should have done it like the Rage Against the Machine guy, right up by your tits.
Yeah. God, he does really wear that thing up high.
I've always thought if you actually want to play an instrument well, that's probably the proper way to hold a bass is torso height, not thigh height. That doesn't make any sense.
Or like holding the one way up by your ear, your left hand up by your ear and your right hand at your knee. You're all crouched over. Horrible posture.
I've noticed if you look at especially old country live footage, a lot like Buck Owens in particular in that kind of era, a lot of the bass players play it almost upright because I'm sure they learned on a big old fat ass upright bass, but now they got electric bass, so they still have it at like a fucking 70-degree angle. I always find that. There's another guy that played not in the low menacing hand by your knee, hand by your ear kind of style. The Collective Soul guy really had a tilt to his. I mean, he had it like growing height, so he wasn't hunched over, but the neck was always right by his face. Yeah,
must be a reason for it.
Yeah. I bet he learned on a stand-up. He was a fucking band kid, probably.
fucking, you know, the problem with an acoustic bass I learned, it's fucking 10 inches thick to get that fucking
bellow.
sound.
Yeah,
it is the size of, like, it looks like you're holding that huge mariachi guitar is what it looks like. And when you're this big already and then add another 10 inches on front of it, my arms barely reached all the strings.
Or you're running out of lap space.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bear cat to try to play.
Well, Bart didn't have to worry about that. He chose the petite string instrument. He chose the violin. And in true Bart fashion, he did so because he found out through Mr. Largo that, like, well, what happens if it gets broke? Well, your father has signed off on it. He will have to pay for it.
$435.
And that's all that Bart cares about. And God, we get a great montage of Bart doing everything he can to destroy that violin in hilarious ways, and using it as in like a sanctioned baseball game. He goes up to the plate ready to swing that violin. Fucking Homer tackles Nelson before he could throw the first pitch.
And Nelson immediately beats the shit out of Homer.
And I also love when Bart just calmly dumps a can of baked beans into it. He's holding it over the fucking grill.
God,
this is one of the better montages for fucking laughs that I've seen in a
such
seen
a
in a
little
while.
shit ass Bart is.
And I love the direction it took. That, like, they're in the kitchen and Bart is like, well, wouldn't you like to hear me play the instrument that you're paying for? And Homer's like, hey, buddy, you don't have to do that. That's not, we don't have to do that. And he can't play at all. And that's when Homer loses his mind. Like, I just can't live under this fucking threat anymore.
Yep.
Crushes that. Watching him crush it in front of Bart. Bart's look is just so great. And Homer is not even thinking. He's so happy. You can tell this has been so hard on him. He's so psyched. Walking out the door, gives Marge a big smooch. I go, I'm going to Moe's.
Yeah, he's like, I'm free.
Yeah, I'm happier than pig and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I liked all of that whole part right there.
Also, all just a setup to get Homer to Moe's. Yep. Homer's always at Moe's. You could just start the episode.
I'm glad they didn't, but they sure. We used to get that a lot. Mm-hmm. Insane lead-ins to something that didn't need that wild of a lead-in.
Yeah, I'm like you said. I'm glad they did, because all this music shit at the beginning was fun.
Yeah, agreed. And does it come up again? No. You're right, though. I was thinking, no, it loops around. It don't fucking loop around to shit.
No.
There's no violin recital at the end of this. So he's at the bar. Homer is too drunk to drive, so Marge picks him up. But earlier, I'm jumping ahead here. Moe gets a phone call that agitates him. And, like, he's so agitated, he kicks everyone out of the fucking bar, which that's very un-Moe-like.
Yep.
He wants to squeeze every fucking nickel out of these guys.
When he kicks them out, he, like, smashes their mugs that they leave behind and then just buries a fucking fire axe in the middle of his bar.
Like, shattering them with the bat wasn't enough.
Yep.
So, while they're waiting, while Marge is waiting for him to get in the car, Homer notices a very agitated Moe locking up the joint. He's like leaving down the back alley, and they're like, well, he seems like not well. And Marge also concerned. They both kind of agree. Let's follow. Let's just keep an eye on this, you know? So they follow him. He goes like some warehouse in a kind of a quiet industrial neighborhood. Yep. Goes in. They hear there's fighting going on. There's all sorts of fucking, I don't know, jostling. Lots of jostling happening. And they finally get a look. It's fucking Moe getting into a fight. Homer gets in there and breaks it up. Turns out he's in a fight with Morty. Is it Morty?
Yep.
Morty Sislak. We get to first time that we've had to have ever met Moe's dad.
Yep. Morty Slizlak. God, Slizlak is still a ridiculous name.
Yeah. So they get Moe out of there. They go back to the bar. Moe lets him know the backstory. Turns out Moe comes from a family business of mattress sales. They really dunk on mattress sales.
Yep.
It's like, you paid $800 for basically a bag of hay.
I also like later, geez, there's a lot of mattress stores. I never realized it. Yeah, you never realize it until you're shopping for one, and they're everywhere, which is true. Yeah. As somebody who is currently mattress shopping, they're everywhere. I did a real weird thing. I stayed at a hotel over a year ago and stayed there one night. Have never slept better in my life, and so I called the hotel the other day and was like, hey, this is going to sound weird, but I still have my receipt. Here's the date. Here's the room number. Can you tell me what kind of bed you have? And to this fucking poor person's credit who has to work the front desk at a hotel, she was like, this isn't the first time we've gotten this call. Give me a second.
The fact that she didn't hang up.
She came back with brand name, model number. She was a rock star.
That is remarkable. Good for... She better have some kind of employee of the month shit going on.
Yeah. Do you have a survey? Like, I've never asked for a survey before, but you are an angel.
I want to know more about this bed.
Turns out it's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Must have been a nice hotel then.
Hell of a nice hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That adds up.
It was a treat yourself hotel.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I wasn't.
Let's give him something to talk about. Hotel. You treat to getting in the fucking tub. Fucking painted toenails up in the air.
Yeah, I got suds on my head. Yeah, real pretty woman kind of hotel.
It's horsing around. It's good. You need a little of that.
More strawberries.
To no one. So yeah, Mo was the oldest child of 3 in a family with a mattress empire. We get a great footage of like I don't know, it's supposed to be a 70s or 80s local TV commercial, because mattress commercials can be pretty good. Yeah. Because they're often private. They're locally owned oftentimes.
Yep. So. Locally owned, low budget. Yeah. None of the people in them are actors.
Nope. That's very true. So we find out the reason things went south is when Mo was like a teenager, probably early teens. One night, his dad convinced him that he should release some like Hungarian mattress munchers.
Yep.
These fucking super predator bed bugs into the competition so they could destroy them. And Mo gets in there. He doesn't have the heart to do it. He doesn't want to take out the competition that way, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know who does? The competition. They fucking decimate the fucking Sislak empire, so they're a fraction of what they once were. So after that, his siblings and his dad didn't want nothing to do with them.
I love that scene of like him with the jar of bed bugs, and then he sees the portrait of the family on the store wall, and he's just like, they're just a family too. I couldn't do it. But you know who could? That family. And it cuts to them just dumping fucking bed bugs all over.
Yeah, just this happy, smiling family. It turns out they're just as awful as the fucking Sislaks.
Yeah.
So this ain't Marge's thing. Marge wants to see him make amends. Marge and Homer convinced him, hey, we'll help you with this. So they head down to the one remaining or not the one remaining, but there's
one of three
that the Sislaks are all hanging out at. We fucking meet these goblins. Fucking ghouls, just
all look like Mo.
Yeah, Mo is the most Sislakian of all of them, but they're all very
there.
stub-nosed little goblin people.
When his sister comes walking in, eating Chinese food out of that box with a scissors.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Doesn't one of the kids comment on that?
Lisa calls it out.
Yeah. Marge does. They're a lot of animosity in the air, not getting along. But Marge decides that let's have dinner together. That could help bring it all together. But they get dinner together. That fucking dissolves almost immediately into chaos. Till Homer, Marge calls upon him like Plan B. If fucking Homer fires up a VHS tape with one of the old family commercials, and they stop fighting. And the father announces that he's going to retire. And the plan is that each of the kids is going to get their own store. Like here's your key.
Yeah.
And Mo's like walking out the door. He figures it's over. But
this was fun. Yep.
He uses the line, I buried this dream so deep that no amount of self-harm could dig it out.
Insane.
Jesus fucking Christ. So Mo's cutting himself. That's not good. So Mo's got a goddamn mattress store. Most of Springfield's going to show up for the debut. Mo's dressed well. He's got a nice looking store showing off his wares.
For Mo.
And because they're kind of known for their family commercials, they have a new commercial lined up, a new Sizzlack family ad. And it turns out that the other two siblings fucking jobbed him. They fucking got him to agree to it, but they must have had final edit.
Yeah.
And they made it, they turned on Mo and said, they made comments about fucking Mo having people died on his mattresses. One of the lines is, who died on Mo's mattresses? Shut-ins, fat people, and inmates.
So good.
Imagine reselling prison mattresses. Some animal out there is
Someone's done it.
They're knocking down that prison. There are 700 mattresses. We buy them all for $1,000.
Yeah.
Flip them all for $50 a piece.
This is why I don't stay in Airbnbs. This is why I stay in hotels.
I've never stayed in an Airbnb.
Me neither. I wouldn't want to. That holds zero appeal for me. Especially now, like where it's just as expensive as a hotel.
Yeah. The only reason ever would be if it's a significant price break. But if it's not, nah. Hotel,
but it's
please.
not these days because, like, I saw a thing come across my Twitter timeline just the other day. Somebody had like posted a receipt of an Airbnb that I don't think they paid for it, but it's the checkout. You know, here's the prices, here's your total, and it was like $220 a night, which already super expensive, but it must have been in a city or something. And then by the time they stacked all the fees on top of it, it was like $1,200 for what should have been $440.
Fucking madness.
Like, of course no one's staying in fucking Airbnbs now. You ruined it. Like everything. Everything gets ruined eventually.
I think they do well in like real touristy cities where hotels are outrageous.
Sure.
Like Honolulu, fucking.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But those same people,
New York,
those people who run the Airbnbs, they are jacking up their prices on nice weekends too, I'm sure. So being in someone else's home makes me so uncomfortable.
I can look past.
Drives me crazy.
If I dwell on the fact that at least 700 men have came in the bed I'm lying in a hotel, that can be worrisome too, but it's out of sight, out of mind for me.
It doesn't bother me in a hotel, but I don't want to stay in an Airbnb.
I was thinking at a restaurant, 4,000 people have put that spoon in their mouth. Look at some people's teeth that are surrounding you. Like, that spoon's been in that guy's mouth, probably.
Yeah, but I trust that the restaurant can wash the spoon properly more than I would trust a spoon out of somebody's drawer.
Yeah.
I have a dishwasher, and my dishwasher sucks.
Yeah, I gotta do shit by hand. My dishwasher's covered in fucking dust.
What are we doing?
Because that's how you get things. You gotta do a job. You do it right.
No, you do it easy. You put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, you fucking wash it while it's still fresh. Everything comes off real nice and clean.
You kiss it? Because that's a problem.
Yeah. You're gonna be in my home. You're gonna break bed with me. We're gonna share a few fucking DNA bits and pieces. That
sounds like a threat. Yeah, that's a threat.
Before you cross the threshold, I make sure to let everyone know. I kiss the plates. What was that?
What?
Pardon me?
You know what? I'm just going to get DoorDash. It's fine.
So Mo is now fucking devastated by this. We get a good thing of him just sinking into a sleep number bed as he lowers the pressure.
Yeah, he keeps putting the number down further and further till he sinks into it like Train Spotting.
Marge feels awful about this because she was kind of the one behind it. She attempts to hug him, but can't make herself do it. She's like reaching and repelled. She like maybe pats his arm quickly, and he's like, it's okay. You got closer than most. Which is so very, very magnanimous of him. Like,
I love Mo.
Yeah. Marge tries to get Mo to reconcile, but Mo wants to do it the Sizzlack way, and we get an incredible montage of him like wreaking havoc in his siblings' stores and them sending it back on him. And almost, I think that's from a like gangster movie.
It's like The Sopranos or something,
or like Goodfellas or something. Yeah. So yeah, that was very good because of course them guys are fucking fuck with each other the whole time.
I mean, going to the mattresses is a mafia phrase.
Yeah. Well, Marge, she does not like any of this. She does the one thing she knows, which is to reach out to Mo's dad. It's like the one option left. Maybe the dad can bring peace amongst these kids. So they all show up at the Sizzlack mattress warehouse. where the younger siblings are there, the dad's there, Homer and Marge are there, and fucking Moe's there up on the rafters, clutching a big fucking mason jar full of Hungarian mattress mashers. It would destroy the other two's business if they got loose. So he's up there cackling maniacally. The siblings turn to their dad for help, but he is all about it. He's like, Mo, do it, Mo.
Yeah.
Embrace your destiny.
That was a fun twist. Yeah. It's very Emperor.
Star Wars. Yeah. First thought I had too.
Emperor with Vader.
Yeah. And Mo is about to do it, but then his feelings for the siblings get in the way, just like they did with that family that owned the other mattress store years ago. So he doesn't do it. Marge climbs up the mattress mountain, gives him a hug. She was able to do it. And while the hug is happening, the jar of Beatles fall out and break open. And the episode ends with everyone piling out of that warehouse covered in fucking bed
itching.
bugs. Yeah. Very enjoyable episode.
I liked it. I like a Mo one.
Yep.
I like Mo.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Some of that was good. Just the subhuman levels that we always know about him. Like, just the little quick comments are so good, Like,
that like the self-harm comment is so funny. I like during the commercial when they flash back to them making that commercial when Mo was a kid and they like finish the cut and they're like, okay, we got it, and the dad turns around and gives all the kids an onion and they all just eat a whole onion.
And then like later, like a sentimental moment, like, I feel like I'm eating onions here.
Insane. If I ever like just bit into an onion like Tony Abbott, that fucking Australian prime minister who did that, there's no way. And I like onions.
I had a cousin that when we be playing like basketball at our place out in the country, like he would just, if we took a time out to get water and the garden was there, he'd pull an onion out and eat it like an apple while we sat there and drank water and got out of the sun for a while.
Lunatic.
Yeah, like it's an apple. Just slap it against your short leg a couple times. Just everything but the stem, baby.
Like I'll take a bite of like a wild onion. You'd catch wild onions on the prairie every so often and be like, oh yeah, look at this. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
I just remember getting the weed in the garden at my grandma's house and pulling out a wild onion. Like, what are the odds? In the garden.
Look at that.
Like, if it was in a row, we'd keep it.
Yeah, that's the least wild of all the onions.
We want the will to live to be beaten out of our onions.
Yeah, like you can give me a slice of raw onion an inch thick on top of a burger and I couldn't be happier. But something about the idea.
Yeah, that's weird.
Crunch, just biting into an onion. Nope, can't do it. Episode 17 is Lisa Gets the Blues. We get a clip. It starts off as 30 years ago, and we get a clip of Homer and Lisa and Bart and Maggie at the aquarium, and this is old ugly Simpsons. Yeah. Homer's voice isn't right.
Tracy Ullman.
Yeah. Lisa is just as bad as Bart.
Yep. It's way spikier hair.
Yep. It's wild to see the old Simpsons like this.
I don't mean to jump ahead, but did you notice the billboard in the intro?
I did.
That was there hasn't been a worth noting billboard gag in a while. We discussed 3 billboards outside of Epping, Missouri.
Yeah.
What are the fucking
I thought the same thing. I was like, did Nathan do this?
Yeah. Mr. Burns was shot in 1995. No arrests have been made. What's going on, Chief Wiggum?
Yeah.
Is it hangthebaby.com or
something like that, or arrest the baby. Yep. Yeah, I thought that was fun. That comes after we get, like, instead of the Simpsons, it says the Flintstones.
Yeah.
And then it says the Simpstones.
Yeah.
And then it says the Simpsons, and then here we go.
I wonder if at this time they were really pushing the whole we're about to pass Gunsmoke thing.
I think so, because it's not the first time it's come up in this batch.
Yep.
Like, a few episodes ago, they did the couch gag that had them surpassing Gunsmoke. And then Lisa goes, we're 4 episodes early, you guys. So they must have really been pushing it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
A super weird intro because, like, the intro kind of starts, with the billboard and the chalkboard. And then when it gets to Lisa's part, when she like bops out of the music room, then kind of the episode just starts because it's Largo telling her that she should give up the saxophone. And then like as they're having this talk, it flashes to the rest of the family dressed as lumberjacks, and the couch is a log, and Bart's talking to the camera going, we can't do the couch gag without her. Come on.
And are we supposed to believe it's Maggie's suck noises?
Yeah.
It's like, why is this funny? Why is us being lumberjacks funny?
She hits her pacifier, and then the subtitle is, so we're lumberjacks. Why is this funny?
Little baby lumberjack Maggie's pretty cute.
And then it goes back to her arguing with Largo, and now the episode is starting. I thought this was great.
The way people take pictures of their kids nowadays. If you started a little boutique photography thing where it's tots dressed as lumberjacks, you would make $1 million fucking dollars.
Why would I want to do that?
Little boots.
I don't want to be
little dark jeans.
You're the one who likes kids.
Oh, I'm just spitball. This doesn't have to be for you. I mean, as
you meant you, the grander you, not you as in
little
Marlon.
Flannels. Oh my God, little cute suspenders.
Those hats.
A little hat.
Yeah.
Do you maybe have an undershirt that's a turtleneck? Oh my God. Oh my God. A little toy axe.
Or
Jesus
chainsaw.
Christ, yeah.
Or the two-man saw that you
If they're
push pull.
twins, my God. People are going to steal babies just to get these pictures taken.
I'll fund the business.
Yep.
You take the pictures.
Holy fuck. You have to have a level. You must be on drugs that I've never heard of, or you're just the most serene. What a fucking 8-hour shift of taking pictures of 6-month-olds must be like. But the big thing now, take a picture of a 6-day-old. Babies at that age are screaming, and they're purple, and they're blind. They're like fucking baby bats. They're just
Their skin is clear like a baby mouse.
Yeah, there's no fats. It's all like a fucking 6-day-old baby should be kept out of the eyesight of everyone that isn't related to it, because it's horrifying. You got to be related to love that thing. Let's take 1 million pictures. No.
I mean, I think the same up until about 18. But
once they get that O-line weight and get a big fat ass baby just barreling around the house, fuck, I love that shit. Fucking give me a fucking 10-month-old.
Oh, I can hear your biological clock ticking.
Just squeeze the babies.
Oh, no.
You know, if my biological clock was really ticking, I probably wouldn't have a problem with 6 days, because that's a part of the gig. You do have a fucking vampire infant thing screaming in your house, shitting bile or whatever the hell what it's like for the first.
They all look like Bat Boy from the old tabloids.
And you're right about like the veins and the discolored. You know.
Yeah, they're clear. They're kind of clear.
Oh. God, yeah. Fucking, I'm gonna fucking peace out. I'm gonna go to fucking, I don't know, fucking Six Flags. Get my roller coaster on for the first fucking 2 months. Once this baby can fall from a foot and we don't have to plan a funeral. Or when a baby's so little, its head just lolls around because it doesn't have a neck muscle yet. Like,
so gross. They're disgusting.
You send me a clip of that baby holding its head up, I'll be home tonight. Then I'm dad. But until then, this should be handled by weird fucking state-ran hospitals.
Should be ran by the people in the moon suits at the end of E.T. Because that's what a baby looks like. It looks like when E.T. is really sick at the end of that movie.
Yeah, that is kind of true. Way more aggressive than sick E.T.
Right.
You wish your baby was as docile as sick E.T.
Like, E.T. is so ashy.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the tents at the end of that movie before they rescue him, it's
Fucking,
like, Jesus.
Yeah. E.T. needs a spa day.
Looks like old bird shit.
Yeah, you and E.T. need to get a hotel room together.
Fun fact, I don't fucking like that movie at all.
I mean, it's the first movie I ever saw in the theater. I was told, I think I fell asleep fucking 10 minutes into it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it besides the time I slept through it when I was 2.5 years old.
Not a fan.
Yep.
Everybody loves it.
Oh, really?
Don't care for it.
I almost should see it again just to see if it sticks.
I don't like movies where kids are the main stars because I don't like kids.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're so plucky. Yeah, fuck off.
So did
I
you
don't
like
care.
something like Super 8? But
Didn't
they're
see
like,
it. Didn't see it for that reason.
How about teenagers? Like 12, 13, like something like Stand By Me.
Stand By Me's okay. I don't love it, but I'm not like, fuck these kids, you know? Goonies, get it out of here.
So it's like
Monster Squad, eat my ass. Not a fan.
You're in the theater. You're looking. Okay. You're probably fucking checking Wiki to see if these kids have probably hit puberty. If the bags have dropped, you're cool.
Which is a troublesome Google search.
Do you think any of these actresses have menstruated? Get the fuck out of this movie.
Off the top of my head, you know what's a kid in a movie that I can immediately point to and be like, that's an acceptable age? I don't hate you for being a kid in this movie. Short Round from Temple of Doom.
Okay.
I don't know that he is the line, but I know that he's on the acceptable side of it.
Kevin McAllister, Home Alone, year and nay.
Sure.
Okay. Yep. I can get that. Because he's not like, he's wise beyond his years too. He talks like a grown up.
Right. Yeah. I think that helps.
Shithead.
He's not whining.
He ain't Fuller. Fuller's a goddamn fucking basket case.
Yep.
He's a wreck. Piss in his pants. He's got glasses. He's old enough that he's got glasses. He'll piss in his pants.
Yeah.
Drinking Pepsi, too.
He was told to take it easy on the Pepsi.
That's what a Pepsi drinker is Fuller. Kevin McAllister drinks a Coke.
Pepsi's better than Coke.
That has empirically been proven wrong, but we ain't got the time for it.
No, it's...
Pepsi is trash.
Oh, it's so much better. Coke is hurtful.
Yeah.
Coke is such an aggressive...
Coke is what made this nation great. Pepsi's what's going to ruin it.
Easy.
Just fucking drinking that sweet fucking syrup, eating frosting out of the can.
So good.
Coke will fucking take you to a knee if you ain't ready for it. That may not even be an exaggeration. Like, if you were to crack a LaCroix and it was Coke, you just... lighter fluid. That's Coke Classic. Jesus Christ. They sell this to kids.
Yeah, pretty aggressively.
I bet if you take if I took a 5-year break from drinking Coke and had a fucking can's diesel. That's where you get the fucking harshest cut, and that's the best shit, baby. Boy, I bet you can't drive for a few hours after that.
Like
lay in the yard,
eyes dilated at the optometrist.
Oh, this ain't good.
I can see too much light. Everything hurts. Oh, my skin.
Yeah. I hope that layer of stomach that's getting eaten away isn't important.
I think I just had my period. I'm a 37-year-old man.
Am I supposed to have a uterine lining?
Because I do now.
Something's coming out.
Or I did.
Coming out of where? Check. I can't see shit.
I'm not checking anything. What are you talking about?
Pulling the front of your sweatpants open and saying check. It's a steak and shake, sir.
Never been to a steak and shake. Do we have one anywhere near here?
No, we had a Mr. Steak at one time years ago.
That sounds made up.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Mr. Steak. It was what? I think, no, I'm getting things mixed up. We can't go into a fucking defunct Fargo restaurant deep dive and we'll lose all remaining 11 listeners.
Are you talking about the Steak and Potato Company? Because that was in the mall food court.
This is by the Burger King off the interstate on I-29. Now it's been a Mexican restaurant for years.
Okay, yeah.
There was a Steak and Shake or Mr. Steak, one of the two in there.
Huh. No idea. That's always been a Mexican restaurant.
Fire up the email machines if you're a Fargo resident listening to this. Let us know. What defunct steak place am I talking about?
So the Simpsons, we do that fun kind of half intro, weird aborted couch gag, and now we're off and running into the episode. Mr. Largo is insisting that Lisa give up on the saxophone. He's just all in, and so is Skinner. Nope, you gotta give this up.
I have a thought. To me, this just seems weirdly forced. Like why? What? Not just, you got to quit. It's like they waste so much fucking time getting into the plot. Give us a fucking 1 minute reason why this even came up. Unless I missed something. It just seems weird.
I mean, it's a way to get Lisa sad.
Yeah.
And then it's once you have a sad Lisa, you can take the rest of the episode to cheer Lisa up. Because that's what this episode is about.
Yeah.
You know? But you need to do something bad to Lisa at the beginning.
What a thing a writer's room to discuss.
Yeah, it's written on a whiteboard. Yeah. Bad things to do to Lisa. Jesus, I'm leaving. So, and the reasoning that they think she should give it up is that for every one person that makes it, thousands don't, especially in the creative pursuits, which they're not wrong.
Nope.
But she's 8.
Yep. Yeah, what else is she going to do? She kicks ass at school. She can fucking go to lineman school? Like, what the fuck? Learn a trade, Lisa. Like, Jesus Christ.
Welding.
Yeah.
The bullies get a hold of Bart and they dress him up as Shirley Temple and make him sing.
Is it Shirley Temple?
Come out tomorrow.
No, it's Little Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie.
Because they fucking white out his pupils.
Which is terrifying.
I forgot that was part of the comic strip of Little Orphan Annie's. They don't have pupils.
Oh,
Just got
okay.
white eyes. That was... Like, my heart sung when I was like, oh, fuck, that's not the movie Little Orphan Annie. It's the comic strip.
I didn't get the reference, so I was...
No one should. I am 20 years too young to be getting that.
I was just like, that's horrifying that you would put white out on somebody's eyes.
Yeah. The level of craftsmanship in that bullying is pretty top notch. Didn't sing until your mouth is full of food thrown at you.
Yep.
Too.
And it does. It fills his mouth as he's singing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. Yeah. Didn't Shirley Temple play Little Orphan Annie?
I don't think so. I think she was always kind of having her own thing. She was a star, like, where Shirley Temple was, like Little Orphan Annie was a very popular comic strip that, like, I think was serialized back when they did those, like a 30-minute short that would play before the feature.
Okay.
I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And then there was a Little Orphan Annie movie in like the mid to early 80s that did pretty well too.
Huh.
Yep.
Who did Shirley Temple play then?
Million different.
Why do I think that she sang that song?
You might be thinking of Good Ship Lollipop. She sang that.
She for sure sang The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. I guarantee.
You think so? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll
Google that right now.
We'll have the staff check into this. Okay.
No, I refuse to let this go.
Okay, but I am only 60% sure myself, but okay. I'll get the interns on it right now.
You weren't making these Little Orphan Annie claims with your whole chest.
Yeah.
You were just
I wasn't bowed up.
I think it's what it is. But I could have sworn The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow is a Shirley Temple song. But I also don't know. This is two people who don't know what they're talking about, both trying to make a claim.
Cora, was Shirley Temple the original Orphan Annie? No. The original Orphan Annie was a comic strip character. Let's go deeper here. What's Shirley Temple famous for? That's another one. Okay.
Who the fuck is Cora?
It's a website that's just questions.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Who was Shirley Temple? What was she like? Probably the most famous child actor of all time. Very talented, successful. Her marketing was epic. Dolls, clothing. Yeah, like... She was too big to play Little Orphan Annie, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Her character would have a name, but she was Shirley Temple, if that makes sense. I can't think of any modern equivalent to how huge Shirley Temple was.
Huh.
I think Shirley Temple at her peak was the most valuable star in Hollywood when she was like an 8-year-old.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And also because they cranked out movies like A Sweatshop back then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That, she did Hard Knock Life. Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, that's also Annie.
Well, fuck me. I don't know shit about anything.
Yeah. I've seen Annie as a little kid because they made one in the 80s. But yeah, Shirley Temple, that was never a part of my childhood at all.
I think I know that song more from the Jay-Z song
Yep.
that samples
me
it
too. Totally,
than I do the real song.
Shirley Temple, as a grown woman, became like an ambassador to other countries. I think because she was in with one of the either Republicans or Democrats. So she'd be, whatever president on my team wins, I become the ambassador to the Netherlands.
Weird.
Yeah, got into being a diplomat.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what's his name? From Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah, Penn.
Cal Penn.
Cal Penn, yeah.
Yep.
Worked for Obama?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I almost said dictator. Diplomat. Yeah. Dictator Cal Penn.
Is that what every brown man is to you, Marlon?
Harold and God, Nathan.
We talked before the podcast.
So the bullies get one on Bart here with the Shirley Temple thing.
Let's put it mildly. They painted his eye pupils.
They painted his
he really
eyes
zinged
white.
me. Take a semester off from school. Did he do anything that we know of, or was he just there?
He did. He got Jimbo was sleeping, and he took his hat off and wrote,
I forget he's
no
bald.
one home on top of his bald head. Yeah. So it was a receipt, but still pretty fucking stiff one.
Went a little hard.
Marge is encouraging Lisa, like, no, you gotta chase it. You're great. I think she even says, like, don't listen to your teachers. Listen to someone who's totally objective. Your mom, which is so
That's
funny.
That's a good line, yeah.
Lisa does some research, and I said this in my head before we got here. Lisa's got the yips.
Yep, I did too. My note is, Christ almighty, I hope the yips are mentioned. And then the next, they mentioned the yips.
Yep, Lisa's got the sax yips. She can't do a thing that she does all the time.
Yeah.
So insane that's real.
Her and Steve Sachs and Chuck Knobloch off the top of my head.
Can you imagine just one day not being able to do the thing you do?
That could, no joking, lead you to suicide.
Yeah, 100%.
You're in your prime at a job that pays millions of dollars, and just something in your brain shifts and you can't do the simplest. I think some of those guys could still hit. They just couldn't field at all anymore.
So
that pitcher
insane.
who just in the middle of a playoff game, the biggest game of his life, throws the ball 8 feet in the air, and now it's 10 feet in front of the plate, and he looks like he is seeing a ghost. Like he just looks terrified out there, and they pull him. I think they pitch him again. He does the same shit the next game, walks the first 2 guys. Isn't seen playing professional baseball for 5 fucking years. Came back as an outfielder. The will it takes to
no shit.
I don't want to quit playing it. It's pretty tight to get paid that much money to play baseball.
Yeah.
I'll learn a new position.
The will it takes to not just crawl under a dozen flour sacks and die out in the barn. Jeez.
Terrifying.
And it doesn't even have to be something so high level like professional sports.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine if you worked at a fucking assembly line factory and suddenly couldn't do the thing that you always do.
I can't think of it being in any other sport really but baseball. Like basketball, I've never heard of a free throw shooter that like all of a sudden just went from shooting 85% to 50%. Nick Anderson, after he bricked those free throws in the Orlando Magic Houston Rockets finals in 1995, he really struggled from the line, but never to an outrageous level.
Yeah, there's a difference between being...
He had a traumatic thing happen.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a little shook and having the yips.
Yeah, that's the thing with the yips. It just happens. There's no like, oh my God, I made the worst play of my life.
Yeah.
And the next day you just can't do anything. You're just in the middle of a fucking endless season that is baseball.
Imagine if tomorrow you were sitting typing on your laptop and suddenly didn't know how to type.
Yeah. Fucking weird. Or I'm butchering it. Like
you're just blonk,
as if
clank.
the QWERTY had changed.
As if someone had moved all the letters. Yeah. Wild that's real.
Mm-hmm.
Marge wants to take the family to Gainesville, Florida, to go visit her great aunt who's turning 100. And boy, do we dunk on Gainesville here.
This is early 90s level of dunking. They're just, I mean, I know Florida gets dunked on a lot, especially when it's not like resort.
Especially Western Florida. Yep.
I was like, you'd think Gainesville will be a college town, so maybe it's kind of got like a little fucking coolness to it, but maybe not.
I think Florida as a whole is a shithole, or at least has the reputation of being such.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Miami.
Yeah. And Miami, too, has their poor neighborhoods. It's like probably the only place in America you can go where it's like, this looks third world.
Yeah.
Like, I've only seen pictures, but yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, that's wild.
And all I've ever seen of Miami is the beach, like Miami
cheeks.
Vice. Yeah, exactly. Brazilian waxes as far as the eye can see. Just booties and Lambos.
Yeah.
I've only seen pit bulls, Miami. So we dunk on Gainesville so much. And my favorite, because we make a lot of jokes at Gainesville's expense, when Homer takes the airline tickets and gives them to the person at the desk as they're boarding the plane. And that clerk reaches over and puts his hand on Homer's shoulder, consoling him like he just lost an aunt.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Or right before that, when Marge is buying the tickets to Gainesville, $99. Tickets from Gainesville, $1,000.
No, they were 19. To fly to Gainesville's $19.
So good.
Because Homer's smiling then, like, oh.
Yeah. During the flight, everything goes wrong on the flight, of course, and Homer decides to kick off a fucking passenger riot.
Yeah.
And now, we're going to have to land, and then we're going to land in New Orleans, and everyone is super happy about that.
Yeah.
And Homer says something along the lines of, everybody wins, and then it shows the great aunt with no one at her birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Turning 100 too, right?
Yeah, turning 100. Great Aunt Bouvier. And no one's there.
So good.
We get to New Orleans and we're bebopping around New Orleans. Bart goes with Marge. Lisa goes with Homer. Homer's like, okay, I got to try to cheer her up. And then we get such an obnoxiously long, great, loved it, but so long montage of Homer just naming New Orleans foods.
God. Probably like every fifth one, I was like, ooh.
At least every one for me. I was like, this all
some of them got
seems...
repetitive. They'd all be good, but they were kind of similar things.
Oh, sure. Like there's like he names like 14 po' boys in a row.
Yeah.
Pork po' boy, beef po' boy, shrimp po' boy. Yeah.
God's fucking, some of that food is so fucking good.
And kudos to them. They took the time to animate each one of those properly. Like every one of those, somebody Google image searched all these foods and drew them.
Andouille sausage, okay, we got to edit this complete sandwich again. 200 man hours to make that fucking third of a second clip of a sandwich.
Yeah. I am pretty unfamiliar with a lot of Cajun food, and I need to fix that. Like, I've had gumbo.
Yeah.
I've had alligator bites, you know. Yeah. But I've had a shrimp po' boy.
Yeah.
But I need to dive deeper.
Yeah. When it's done right, fuck, yeah. That's good eating.
I need to get into some etouffee and some gumbos and crawfish. And
yeah, the crawfish, I think I'd be in charge. I've never had crawfish that I can think of. I think I'd like them. Yeah.
I think I've eaten every other shellfish.
Yeah, they've all fallen before my fist.
Yeah, it's my last Pokemon that I need to collect.
Collecting each of the fucking each of the shells on an oven mitt like it's your Infinity Gauntlet.
Like I crossed snail off the list before I crossed crawfish.
I have too. Yep.
What do they call it?
Escargot. My cargo.
There we go. Yes. 160 swiftly. Wreck it, buy a new one. Your crew run. Your crew run.
So you got lobster, heavy hitter. You got crab everywhere.
Yeah.
Snails, not quite, but they're all there. You can get them, you know.
I had them in Hong Kong.
Okay. What are the big shell foods? I mean, then you get into clams and oysters and mussels.
Yeah, mussels, scallops.
Yeah.
Now this is a show where we
Food
just
talk.
list seafoods.
None of these are Mario 2 characters.
What kind of fish seafood characters are there? There's bloopers. There's Cheep Cheeps.
Who's the big mean one in Mario 3?
That's just a big Cheep Cheep.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Maybe he has a unique name, but he's just a big Cheep Cheep.
I think he does, yeah.
There's flying Cheep Cheeps.
I would fucking read the Mario 3 instruction book like it was like I had just discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like the world needs to know what I have found.
You got one of those big tabletop magnifying glasses with the light in it that you're putting over it.
Interesting.
We have to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Windy O. Koopa.
Morton Downey Koopa
Jr.
So we get this long stretch of Homer eating New Orleans food. Man, beignets sound so good. Like a weird donut.
Calm down.
I can't. Sorry. Hey, get my shit together here. I'm going to lose my tits over beignets. It's just a fancy donut.
I'm going to get tits from eating too many beignets.
Marge is out with Bart. Bart goes into a voodoo store. Marge goes into a church. That seems right. That seems like the way that split would go. Bart buys some voodoo dolls. He's going to get some bully revenge. Homer is trying his best to cheer Lisa up, but not having much luck. Finally, takes her to a fucking jazz bar. Can't believe it took him the whole episode to think of that.
Yeah. Good call.
He's slamming fucking hurricanes.
Yeah.
He's when they cut to that table, he's got like 8 empty hurricane glasses, and he's drinking one.
Yeah.
Ooh boy,
Yeah.
hurricane's a boozy drink. You drink,
Big. A lot of fluid.
You drink 8 hurricanes, you're gonna shit in your pants.
What's the main liquor in a hurricane?
I believe rum.
Okay,
I believe hurricane's a rum drink.
Rum adds up to me.
Yeah.
It's a touristy drink.
Yep. So they're at a jazz club enjoying themselves. Homer calls Marge, hey, come on over here. This is where we're at. And a pretty familiar looking dude is on stage playing with the band, and he pulls Lisa on stage. This is Bleeding Gums Murphy's nephew. Like clearly,
that's a nice touch.
Yeah, clearly a different body, but same face.
Same glasses too. Same
type of stubble. Yeah. And he's like, get up here. We want to play with you because my uncle said that you were the most gifted kid that he'd ever seen. Which gasses Lisa up, and now Lisa's back. She's playing saxophone, and everything's great again.
You could tell they were really going for the heartfelt angle with this one.
This is a sweet one.
Because Lisa's real sad, then she gets real happy.
Yeah. Boy, sad Lisa is tough to watch. Sad Lisa is hard to see.
This one was fine. I don't know if I would say it's weaker than anything else. I mean, it's weaker than 1 or 2, but I don't know if it's the weakest of the bunch, but I wasn't super engaged. But.
I like this one. I like a Lisa one more often than not. I think as far as the Simpsons are going to episodes, it's a good one of those. Yeah,
the Little Orphan Annie was good.
Yeah, I love Shirley Temple.
Yeah. I hope tonight is like you fucking... It's your girl in a dragon tattoo just digging for the missing clues. Like, just convinced that we've whitewashed history. Shirley Temple for years played Little Orphan Annie.
I've never seen that movie or read the book. Is it good? Are either of them good?
Oh, I mean, I think...
I own the book and haven't read
Little Orphan Annie?
Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, I was going to say, I think they were good for 19 teens children with nickel poisoning, and help bring them off their mind off the pain they were in. But no, I've only seen the movies.
Okay.
Or movie, maybe, because that was originally done by the guy that did Fight Club. What's the Fincher? David Fincher did the first Girl the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if he ever did the other 2 movies. Huh. Maybe he didn't make enough money.
Yeah, maybe someone else did. And they went straight to Netflix or something.
They did make those movies in Scandinavia, but I never did see those.
Oh, right. Yep. I forgot that part. Yeah, I have the book and have never read it, and I've never seen the movie. Yeah,
I don't even have a hot take. I don't know anyone that's read it or anyone that's high or low on it. I mean, I guarantee I know people that read it. They were everywhere 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was the hot shit.
Yeah. The final of the batch is episode 18, Forgive and Regret. Got a really good Gunsmoke themed intro.
Yep.
I enjoyed that.
Matt Dillon fucking marching down the street, and Maggie fucking shoots him.
2 people she's shot now.
Yeah, Maggie's a danger.
Yeah.
Maggie Simpson is still a threat.
And this is the one that passed it, right?
This is the one, yes.
Episode starts with Homer sitting in Moe's. We've seen that before. But what we've never seen him do is attempt to eat 50 fucking pickled eggs for a $50 pot. It's only $50 is all he's getting.
That's so many eggs.
So sick. Like a pillowcase. Could you fit 50 fucking eggs in a pillowcase?
I think so. I think it'd be full, but I think you could do it.
Incredible.
Can you imagine? I love pickled eggs.
Me too. Damn right.
But, oof.
And then he's like, you can see them in his torso. They're like poking through his skin, and he gets them all down. But they can't stay down, and that's part of the stipulation. So he spits up the eggs everywhere, which there's like Homer has like a filtration, or Mo has like a filtration system. So they go down through the drain and they come back out, and he rinses them and sells them again. Like,
disgusting.
Does this happen enough that you need to have this fucking
an elaborate system for it? What is the fucking deal with eggs? Because I could easily eat a dozen scrambled eggs. You could scramble 12 eggs, and I could sit at the counter and eat them and walk out with no problem. I could not force myself to eat more than, I'm going to say, 4 hard-boiled eggs in a row. That math doesn't make sense.
No, I think it's just the flavor. There's something... Just the biting into that boiled yolk over and over again. That is, ugh.
I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It is baffling.
God, I love eggs.
They're so malleable. You can just force them into your will. You want to scramble them, do that. You can you want to hard boil them, soft boil them. You want to fucking poach them. You want to get weird. Go right ahead. Eat them raw. I don't give a fuck.
I love a poached egg.
Yeah.
I never eaten a raw egg.
Yeah.
I've eaten stuff with raw egg in it, cookie dough and that kind of thing. I've had drinks with whipped egg white.
Oh, yeah. Can you think of a drink off the top of your head that has that?
Oh, fuck, what's it called? The cocktail that they served on the Titanic has a whipped egg in it. But I can't, for the life of me, remember what it is. It's got orange juice and champagne maybe and something else in it.
That sounds right.
And then a whipped egg.
Yeah. Orange whip?
Orange whip.
2 orange whips.
2 orange whip.
3 orange whips.
3 orange whips. Yep. Orange whip. Orange whip, pretty good. Orange whip is pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that just sounds good.
And I'm not that big of like an orange creamsicle kind of guy.
I am. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that flavor profile, but I'll drink an orange whip. I'll fuck with an orange whip. If you're going out, you go to Denny's or any diner spot, and you order their big breakfast. It comes with 2 sausage links, 2 bacon strips, 2 eggs, however you want them, hash browns, and toast. How you getting your eggs done? What's your default egg order?
Over medium.
You really make them work for it.
But I'm not going to send anything back.
The hardest egg to make.
But if it's over easy, that's why I do it. So it's like, if it's too undercooked, whatever. If it's too overcooked, that's cool too. Because I'll order a fried egg sometimes. It's just like, oh boy, this is just fucking tough.
Yeah.
It sat there too long. You ignored this egg. That's what happened. And I don't want a runny ass egg either, you know? Like,
yeah. I order scrambled because you can't fuck up a scramble. You can't.
God, yeah. But when they nail it, it's so good. God, a good fried egg is fucking delicious.
Yeah. Over anything. I'll never order sunny side up. That's too much for me.
Oh, really? I'll do that.
Yeah.
You're gambling. I cook, and that's not. I probably cook them sunny side up more than I'd ever order them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm a dipping boy. I like a soft yolk. Get some dip in there. If I'm making them at home, over medium is what I aim for.
Yeah.
Some get a little harder. Some get a little runnier. But yeah, if I'm ordering, give me scramble.
Man, I got my fucking bootleg bacon. Got fucking 16 packs of it. I'm going to be eating so much bacon and eggs this winter.
Bootleg bacon.
Yeah, I got my bacon hook up. I can buy by the case. Don't look at the date. Don't worry about it. It's a smoked meat. It's good.
Expired poison bacon.
Killing me softly.
It's got so much salt in it, it doesn't matter.
More salt. Yeah,
that
right?
Date
Yeah.
says. Gotta hook up with your bacon guy.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's a guy or a girl. I just pick up bacon.
Just bacon deep throat that you meet in an underground parking structure.
Just there's a vehicle in the distance in an open parking lot with a PA system. Like, take the bacon.
Got
and
a
walk.
voice modulator.
He sounds like the killer from Scream.
Open the trunk. The bacon is in the trunk.
You know the Venmo. So Homer spit up the eggs. He's feeling a little rough. He leaves Moe's, and he backs into a light post and fucking knocks it down, fucks his car up. And a mysterious man, as if was waiting for that to happen, fucking comes out and says, hey, man, like, give you fucking, is it $500?
Yep. $500 for your car.
$500. We forget this ever happened. And Homer's drunk. He's like, deal. He then goes home. He's jazzed about this. We don't know the details, but he's all excited about this. Goes home and turns on the TV to show the family a commercial for a local Springfield area demo derby. And you pay attention to the ad. We see the old Simpsons car, the old sedan.
Yep.
The guy's nickname is No Helmet.
Yep.
I can't think of what his name is.
And he has like a caved-in skull on one side.
So we're diving into the world of fucking demo derbies.
I have written in all caps Demolition Derby with big exclamation point. I don't know that you're going to remember this, Nathan, but about 124 episodes ago on this show, we briefly brought up demo derbies, and you said something along the lines of, I was in one of those, that's a hell of a story, and then we moved the fuck on. And I, not long after that, Googled, is there a Demolition Derby episode of The Simpsons? There certainly has to be. And this episode came up. That was 2 years ago. I've been waiting for this episode to come up because I know you have a Demolition Derby story, and I've been just sitting patiently for however long it fucking took to hear your Demolition Derby experience.
Wouldn't it be a real kick in the dick if I lied?
Right? Or if you were just like, I went to one once.
Yeah, me and a cousin watched the first half of one, then we went back and went on fair rides. I think someone won. Oh, what a foreshadowing seed we planted with that.
God.
Oh, let's go the way back. I would have been summer, I was 19. The demo derby in my hometown was always a pretty decent sized demo derby for the area because some are better than others, better turnout. And they dropped a bunch of, like, you don't have to pay an entry fee, and they cut down on what you could do to your car. And what that does is it makes it more fucking yahoos like me to enter.
Yeah.
Because that means you can't make it into a fucking tank.
They just trying to get people?
Yep.
Like, okay.
The numbers had been getting so pitiful, they'd only have one heat. Because it's like there's 8 cars fucking.
Sure.
They wanted, and then it worked. There's like 50 fucking cars the year I joined it. And my grandpa was a junk collector of fucking much renowned in that part of the state. And he had a bunch of shit cars, and we looked at him, and he had one that was perfect. I think it was a 73 Impala 4-door. So. And he was in the hospital at the time. I mean, like, not dying, but like he was, like, I just kind of took it. Like, I'll pay Grandpa later. And fucking we began. And the intricacies that go into making a derby car, it's fascinating.
Shit you would never know.
Yep. You take apart you don't have the key, turn the ignition. You make a push button because you hit your car hard enough, all that little intricate, small, steering column shit can snap off. Then you're fucked. You can't start your car again.
Which is a problem.
You take it is. You want your car to run. That's how a derby's won or lost. Are you running? And are you moving at one point? It's who moved last. Your car can be running, but if you are immobile, you will lose. And you cut like a 5-inch by 5-inch square in the firewall in case you get hit hard enough that the motor jacks up, so your fucking distributor cap doesn't shatter against the back wall. It's fascinating, the shit you do.
Where do you learn all this?
From an uncle.
Oh, good.
Some dude your mom's dating. And you there's such rules, like you can only weld 4 inches of the door and leave a foot empty, because you weld the doors completely up, your car is a torpedo. You can drive through the side of a fucking bank, and all the different shit. You take the gas tank, lots of safety shit, all the glass, obviously, anything that's flammable. You take out the gas tank and you put a boat gas tank in, so it's not underneath there,
Okay.
All sorts of shit. We did everything you could do. We found out, except one thing we missed. We didn't brace my seat.
Oh,
that's the thing you gotta do, especially if you're a big fella. Just because those seats ain't meant for that kind of shit.
Sure, I can see that.
Exciting day, I'm sure. Drunk.
Was this process fun? The making of the car.
There was a time when we knocked all the glass out and stripped everything down. We're treating that thing like a 4,000-pound go-kart, and it's like, we don't need to wreck this. We could just do this all summer. just fly through the fucking hills and just fucking terrorize people in this thing. The driver had a seat. Everyone else was sitting on a pail. Then we had maybe snowmobile helmets on because there's no windshield anymore.
Sure, yeah.
I remember taking it into town, lighting up the tires in the Senex parking lot as one does.
Breaking the glass out seems like a fun day.
Yep.
That seems like a red letter day.
Yeah, except you got a dad like mine. He made sure you picked up every fucking shard of it.
I'm sure.
Fucking hear about it. And yeah, that was oh my God, the making it, the driving it was okay. It's over so quick. It's so
the
fun.
derby part. Yeah.
Foreshadowing. I was concussed so early into this whole process because they weren't ready for a derby with that many fucking cars, so they weren't wetting the track enough. And one of the guys that knew what he was doing was even commenting, "Well, they're really catching on this. They need to get more mud in there because you're supposed to not be able to get much momentum because you're spinning in the mud. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
It's a slop pit.
Keeps you from getting up to 45 miles an hour by the time you're at the other end of the arena.
And the guy on the other end of the pit, because I had a decent car, and the other guy did too. And like when we were friends, I kind of had a handshake agreement that we both immediately forgot when that fucking flag was dropped. It's like, that's it. Don't have to fucking clobber each other out of the gate. We both put it to the fucking rugs and smashed ass to ass so fucking hard. My seat snapped immediately. So I fucking now I'm lying on a bed trying to drive a derby car. Or more like, like the fucking fold out chairs women use to get sun, like,
sure.
Yep.
Yeah, men can get sun on them too.
Yeah. They don't put them in the ads.
But whatever you call that lawn chair.
That's what my fucking car was now. So I have to sit up. Every hit, I recoil back like I'm getting shot out of a fucking cannon, and it won't end. But I'm like, goddamn, we put so much work and keep going, fucking. And you don't, everything's fucking. You not only do you take the fucking ignition out, you take the shifter off the column and you cut a hole in the hump in the floor. You just have a stick that's like drive or neutral.
Yeah.
Because you don't want all that
and
linkage.
Reverse. You got to have reverse.
Oh, reverse. Yeah. Just like, because you don't want all that linkage shit to break, you know? Like, so I'm fucking getting just fucking clobbered. But then I remember I was like, fuck, man, I think my fucking brain's busted, I remember I look it up and I finally got in a spot where I had like a chance to just zip around just take a fucking half lap. Okay, here we are. And like I saw two other people I think were out, and I just, okay, I'm not last. That's all I cared about. Because I knew even in my brain mush state, I have taken severe damage. And I can't remember what hit. I remember taking a couple more, and I can't remember what had happened, but I couldn't get it to start again. And they throw you like a yardstick with a white flag. That's what you put up on your dash and your windshield to let everyone know I'm done.
I'm out.
And it was I remember like, God, I can't, because people helped me. I felt bad quitting, like fuck. And then, but I'm not smart enough to realize in some situations like that, put your flag up because there's a consolation round.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like round 2 of a boxing match. If you can make it out of your corner, you're in the consolation round. Okay. But I was like, fuck, I couldn't figure it out, couldn't get it to start. In fact, put the fucking flag up. And then fucking, I feel this fucking, no, I'm wrong. They tow you out of there. They tow you to your spot in the pit. And my buddy's like, hey, we got to get this thing. I think we can get this going for round 2. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Punch drunk, How many times I got whiplash? I wonder. And then I'm just sitting there talking, but I can figure out what to do. I feel like, why am I getting wet? Every time I was getting hit, not only was I kicking back, but my legs were kicking up, like riding a Bronco.
Okay, sure.
The underneath of that dash of a 74 Impala is pure steel, just and it's almost like someone was using a fucking dull cleaver against my shin. Oh, fuck! I could feel it in my fucking socks. It was fucking bad. And like my friends are like, yeah, man, we do this and this and this. We can get this thing ready for the. And I didn't want to say I can't do it, but like, I didn't want to do it. My head hurt
and my legs.
Yeah, and fucking finally, someone's like, yeah, we can quit working on it. And we looked underneath. The whole fucking rear end was twisting away from the drive shaft. Like there was fundamental damage. Yeah. And I was so happy.
Oh, thank God. Oh, but on the outside, you're like, darn.
Yeah.
Dag-nabbit, guys.
We had such a good shot.
Well, I guess we got to go home or to the doctor.
If we would have, should have, for my head, should have went to but just bury it in Bud Light. Like looking back, if we would have welded my seat, and I wouldn't have flown out of it like a fucking bat out of hell. I would have been a little like fucking hold my putt a little bit better, But fun, the building it was all the fun. That was the funnest thing we did that summer.
Sure, I could see that being a fun summer gig for a 19-year-old.
I had a Ric Flair quote on my car. Remember that? I had to be the man you got to beat, or is it many are called but few are chosen?
I think those are both Ric Flair
I
quotes.
made the point to put all sorts of dumb shit. There was a huge caution. I don't have insurance. I was real proud of that. God, there's some other dumb. I tried to do the fucking Marilyn Manson lightning bolt. Didn't work. Where the fuck? Made it into a big hornet. I had a big hornet or bee on the hood of it.
You can't draw a lightning bolt, but you can draw a hornet?
Something got smudged. So I had to make some artistic managerial decisions. What was my number, you ask? 187.
Attaboy. Jesus.
So fucking dumb. Black and yellow was the color combo I went with. Classic.
Well, the Hornet makes sense then. Nice work. 187.
Yeah.
That's exactly what a 19-year-old paints on his demo car.
Who were my sponsors? We had Denny's Clip Joint, the barbershop in town.
Denny's Clip Joint is a good barbershop name.
Munson Trucking, Glintz's Skidoo Shop. We had the Skidoo Shop, and because weirdly, like, you know, you got to get sponsors to help, you know, you put your name on there, they'll throw you fucking $20 or $50. And then, like, I had like 2 sponsors that jumped in right at the end. It's like, okay, I guess we'll make room for it, you know. Like, so I was like fucking Jeff Gordon out there, just covered in Tide, you know, like
fancy boy out here with all the sponsorships.
Hollywood got 5 sponsors. Oh, and one of the car parts places in town at the very end gave me something too.
What happens afterwards? What happens to the car then?
It's your responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah,
they don't just push them all into a hole.
I'd say most guys come along and onto a fucking trailer and ratchet strap it down and dump it in the back of their farm somewhere. But I remember thinking that we ain't got a farm. My fucking dad is not a junk collector. But one of my friends who was into Derby, I think they bought it for the motor. That's what it was.
Sure, bought it for parts. Yeah.
I'm sure the rest of it went into a fucking scrap metal, but yeah. So that was my dalliance. And I'm too old to do it now, but if I would have been back home in my 20s, I might have built me and my friends, I would hope they would help build a Herbie Derby car. That's the 4-cylinder. So it's littler.
Demolition Derby, but 4-cylinder. Yep. That's fun.
The only reason I always thought that, because for me it's less work and less maintenance, or not maybe maintenance, but like less prep, because there's only one round. The thing with the Derby, you win, you got to go back. You got to fucking, you know, if you got a tire blown, you got to have spare tires. That's a whole shit I didn't realize.
Sure.
And you got to have a whole other set of tires on the rim ready to put on. Got to fucking do everything you can to fix what you can, you know. But Herbie Derby, it's one and done.
Huh.
And it's all 4 cylinders.
That's fun.
If you're hunting for one, there's a Volvo that they made that was gigantic that for some reason had a 4-cylinder in it.
It's like when fighters cut weight.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah,
they want to get as just barely light enough, but still be huge.
That's the insane thing too. Like there's certain cars. Oh, the 74 is great. 75, they changed something in the frame. There's shit. Whatever. This year you want to see, you know, Chevy wagons from the early mid 70s were the king. Chrysler Imperials, these gigantic luxury cars they made in the 60s, are so good, often banned at derbies. And checker cabs, like a lot of derbies, them are monsters, but you don't even get them out here, but they're banned sometimes too.
Why? Why ban certain cars?
They're too good. They're like, it'd be like, why don't you let a truck enter? You know, like, because they're like, I had a buddy who bought one and he's like, I took a look under it. Like, you shouldn't let these be. Like, they should only be certain derbies because you could hurt somebody. And they're like driving into you with a fucking armored personnel carrier.
Are there rules against like using a fucking Olds Delta 88, but dropping a 4-cylinder in it and putting it in the Herbie Derby?
Has to be factory. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Because that seems dangerous also.
And now the big thing with so many derbies, they're like, at one time it was 78 and newer or 82 and newer. Because what was happening is cars of that era were getting so hard to come by. Either they don't exist or they're you know, if you have even a car that was shit 30 years ago is so rare now that if it's in great shape, it's collectible. Because, oh my God, there are only so many of these on the road.
Yeah.
Because it's 55 fucking years old. So if it's even in worthwhile shape, someone wants to save it as a collector thing. So now they're like, we can't have 3 guys in Chevy wagons driving through the fucking side of a Chevy Corsica. It's like fucking killing people, you know. So now it's off at 82s, which is wild. Because in the 80s, cars were still big.
Yep.
But then there'll be someone in there in a fucking 98 Taurus, just some like fucking dinner roll looking car, you know, like with fucking airbags and shit. You know, like,
well, you've got those pulled out, I imagine. But
it's a weird mix. And I'm sure there's all this fucking, everyone's done it enough. You got to get this year. You know,
I'm sure.
This year Lincoln is the good one, you know. Like
I'm sure there's people out there who do it enough that they know shit about demo derbies.
I bet a lot of old Ford Crown Vics and Mercury Grand Marquis
Cop cars
gets, because you can buy them for cheap still. I bet those get saved for derbies. If I had to, that's a hunch. That tickle your whistle?
Absolutely.
That get you there?
I've waited so long for that. Well over 100 weeks, no doubt.
Keeping you up at night.
Yeah, I had an advent calendar made for this fucking episode.
Too bad we couldn't have made it that I won. You know, like this amazing ring.
You should have lied
My
to me.
buddy won the next year. I had no fucking reason to be winning, but just fucking everything lined up perfectly for him.
They should do old timers demolition derbies where you're allowed to keep the airbags in, much like old timer basketball leagues.
I don't know if they ever had. They used to have combine crunches where it's combines doing it, which they're open cab. You're fucking on a welded down folding chair on a 12 feet off the ground on a combine.
You're not allowed to have a cab one in there?
Well, I think back then when they were doing those, anything with a cab was new enough that most guys weren't wrecking shit like that.
Oh, sure.
So it's just the old open cab shit. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And I've heard there's been pickup derbies, but they suck because the back ends are so indestructible. So it's just them spinning in circles waiting to get someone in the front end, and it gets tedious.
Yeah.
That's for me. I want a derby that has tons of regulations because they get over quicker.
Yeah,
You're making these Mad Max cars. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Who runs out of gas first can be a legit way to lose. You know, it's like, fuck me.
You think in the combine derbies you're allowed to leave the header on?
No, I think they do. Just for the crunch, because they're not very solid.
Right,
you know?
and they'll snap off.
I think they do. That just adds to the fucking twisted metal aspect of it.
Adds to the theater of it all.
Fucking YouTube a combine crunch. It's good. It's fucking good footage.
I think there's a lot of weird, like, motorsports side holes you can fall down.
Yeah, and I love that shit. I hate the fucking... There's the thing where it's one guy has the pedals, one guy has the steering wheel. My cousin had one of those cars for a hot second. Madness.
That's insane.
Yep. You set it up so it's like a driver's ed car. The pedals are on the passenger side. You gotta have some simpatico with that guy.
Yeah, you gotta be drift compatible like Pacific Rim.
Yep. Or there's enduro races that are like fucking 80 laps, so cars just break down and they can't leave,
and now they're an obstacle.
It's like Mario Kart almost. It's just a fucking spun out car, and it just keeps getting clipped. And you can leave the car once the track, just if you make it run for it,
Oof,
but
I bet that's a hairy fucking run.
Yeah, and that's just a lot of who's got the parts, because there's a pit you can get in and get your car worked on if you make it there, but what a fucking gong show. That's fun. Anything else, if the cars are good and people care, fuck that. Goes too long.
Fuck NASCAR, but give me a combine race.
Yeah,
That's
no
what I'm
shit.
into.
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's a fun.
We got it.
I waited so long.
I didn't make a note about it because I assumed I'd already talked about it. But when you seem so certain, I'm like, well, fuck it.
I mean, maybe you have, but I don't fucking remember. Definitely not to this depth, anyway.
Well, that's my derby story. Like, were derbies big at all where you came from? They gotta be, don't they?
Nah, there's a couple in neighboring towns, like one of some renown, but not in the town where I came from. We're rodeo people. We're not motorsports people.
Yeah. We had both, but we definitely leaned more car type shit than rodeo.
We're cowboys.
There's fucking skid families and there's fucking cowboy families.
I say combine the two and wreck horses into each other.
That's like that happens in Singapore.
Also, I don't want that. If you've ever seen a horse run into something, much less another horse, it's a harrowing thing.
No
to watch.
shit. Good call. Yeah. So the Simpsons go to witness their car take part in this derby. It's called Homer's Boner. Am I right there?
Yeah, that's what they named the car.
Really the same color, just with yellow lettering.
Just a number and no helmet on the side.
Yeah.
And I think a big bullseye on the trunk.
That sounds right. Yep. And we get they rattle off all the other cars. We get an in memoriam of the cars that have.
Yeah, that was funny.
There's some good gags and the names and shit.
We get Truckosaurus 2. Don't go by Truckosaurus 2.
He has feathers because he's a more realistic.
Realistic.
They're booing that too. I like that. Yeah.
I love that joke, dude. Oh, we made one with feathers because it's more realistic, and the people hate it.
So the Simpsons car fucking does very well. It's down to Homer's Boner and the Barack Obama mobile. Is that what it's called?
Car Rock Obama.
Car Rock. There we go.
The affordable healthcare mobile.
Yeah, people hate it.
Yep. No, you can't kill it no matter how hard you try. It was the.
It has a fucking 4-foot tall paper mache Obama head on a spring.
Yep. I've seen that in derbies. In YouTube clips and stuff, this guy's got a big smiley face on his hood.
I think some of that, or big accoutrement, some derbies allow it, some don't.
Okay.
Some you wouldn't be able to have a big fucking. You couldn't do it like fucking Idiocracy and have a giant dildo on the hood.
I never saw that movie.
Okay. Okay, that's worth saying.
I've heard it's good. People like it.
And then the Barack Obama. Oh, it almost is it a cop car? I thought it maybe had some lights, sirens on it.
I think it might be an ambulance.
That's
something like a station wagon style ambulance, like the Ecto one. So
the crowd is geeking out because it's down, and that happens in a real derby. Oh shit, we're down to 2. One of these guys is gonna fucking win. So it's all exciting, and fucking everyone's and the family's obviously rooting for fucking no helmet. It's right at this time that fucking Grandpa has a heart attack, and right away Homer ignores it. Then he finally realizes, oh shit, he's kind of semi-reluctantly leaving. He wants to know it because there's all this screaming and oh my god, he knows he missed something. They're airborne when they collide. We don't see it either, but we know what happened. And they get Grandpa to the hospital. Find out what's bad. This isn't just a fucking joke heart attack. But Grandpa's in real bad shape. Dr. Hibbert tells Homer that Grandpa wants to talk to him, and Grandpa's discolored. He's
he's ashen.
Yep. It's oh shit, Grandpa's in fucking rough shape. And Grandpa tells Homer he did something horrible, and then he needs Homer to forgive him. And we don't hear what it is. We get it's a gag. He's okay, wait, you said that already? No, you said that already too. And it just keeps going on. And you see Homer reacts to what he tells him, and he's like, well, I want you to die with a clean conscience, so I forgive you.
But isn't happy about it.
Nope, not happy at all. But despite all odds, Grandpa's back due to some kind of new medication that basically defies the will of God.
Comes dancing out of the fucking OR.
Just living his best life. Grandpa's now back to his old ways, just being curmudgeonly Grandpa. Homer can't shake it. It's bugging him with the shit that he was told. We still don't know what it is.
Think of how crazy, not to butt in here, but think of how crazy it would be to be 100% sure this is it and make some super heavy deathbed confession and then be fine.
Yep.
And then have to live with that. Holy shit, what a thing that would be.
And Grandpa is he doesn't seem to mind at all.
Nah, he's fine.
Just happy to be back.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
But if this isn't a cartoon, this is crazy.
He's enjoying his new show, which is just a fucking a fucking spoof of all the fucking CBS, CSI, NCIS, guns and shooting.
When they show that gun that shoots a tiny gun,
that was
very
funny. Yeah. So you can tell this is going to come to a head, but we don't quite know when. So it just keeps building up, and they can't get along. Lisa comes up with the idea of having them go to an escape room where they'll have to work together to solve their problems. All that does is end with fucking Grandpa tricking Homer to put something in a light socket or a plug in, which is pretty good.
You ever go to an escape room?
Nope.
Yeah, would you?
I think so. Oh yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. I'm not the guy that plans that shit. I'm the guy that gets invited. Oh, well, that sounds like fun.
I get invited.
I'll throw in the $12, whatever it is to get into something like that.
I only did it once. We didn't make it.
Didn't you?
No, we didn't get out.
What happens if you get out? You just get out?
You win.
Get a little treat.
I don't think so. I think you
candy?
just...
Let's have some candy.
I think you're happy at the end of your 90 minutes instead of bummed.
You get out of the fart chamber. It's a fresh air.
Yeah, they still let you out if you don't win.
They don't just fucking cement the door up like Saw 1.
Right, exactly. They're putting spackle over the door.
You don't need to know what's in here. They're losers. Fair enough. You can hear all this. The other person's way too cool with that answer. Oh, heads up.
I like it because it's like it's such a video gamey thing, but in real life. Like the kind of puzzles they come up with, at least in the one I did, it's like I think I've seen this in a Resident Evil game, but it's like never in real life.
Yeah.
Like, lay this transparent thing over this map, and then like see these 4 cities all start with this letter, and that's the code to this drawer over here. Like, cool. It's cool. I like it.
Fucking sign me up. Like, is it the kind of thing though? If you and your friends are into it and you do one every month, how quick you running out of fucking escape rooms that you haven't seen?
In this town, I think there's one.
No, there's a couple.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But do each of these only have one format, or do they have multiple formats in their building?
That I don't know, but I'm sure if they only have a couple, they probably refresh them pretty often.
Good point.
You know, were I to guess. I know big cities like, come on in, we have 12, and we change them out every month. You know.
So it didn't work well for Grandpa. He's still, fucking Homer's the salty one. Grandpa's being a shithead. God, Grandpa
sucks.
He can be a shithead with the best of them.
Yeah, I have written right here, Abe sucks.
Do you, in your notes, cycle between calling him Grandpa and Abe? I do.
I always say Abe because it's faster to type.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because, like, typing meticulous notes while trying to watch something
difficult
is tough.
Yeah.
So
I'm pausing a whole bunch and backtracking a whole bunch.
I'm almost never pausing.
No shit. Yeah. Look at you go.
I'm pretty good at listening to something while doing something else, and I only pause to read stuff if I missed like a sign.
Yep. Or look at the movie titles.
Yep.
So they're dropping Grandpa off at the home, and Homer can't take it anymore, and he decides to tell everyone what Grandpa did. And we don't hear it right away. We just get a flashback of 8-year-old Homer. I think it's like it's in Abe's like work shed, and he likes to put together model airplanes. 8-year-old, I'm guessing Homer is in there just fat thumbing shit, knocking shit, eating stickers like a goddamn fucking animal. Just like, how many of those have you ate? His mouth is full of fucking stickers.
Eating the decals of a model. It's so gross.
He eventually just go in the house and bother your mom. And that's what happens. He gets placed with mom, and she's baking. She's a baker, and he loves it. And okay, you're going to need a strong boy to roll the dough. And he's just into all this, just spending all this time with his mom. You can tell it's a real good part of his childhood. And she ends up collecting all of her recipes as they go through all this baking and making a little recipe fucking collection. I don't know what you would call it, like in a little tin box with all these recipes. Yep. And she writes all these nice notes about, on each of them about Homer. And it turns out to be really important to him. And then we find out that in like a post her leaving drunken fucking stupor, Grandpa throws it and a bunch of other shit off the edge of a cliff.
Huge shithead move.
Yeah. But I would think it was going to be worse than this. I was like, he killed a fucking drifter or something.
I thought so too. Like, I thought it was going to be worse than this.
Yeah.
But this is pretty fucking bad.
So, and then the rest of the family now all fucking is turned on Grandpa. Grandpa's full heel mode now. So, everyone too. Like, usually there's always one that's like, either Lisa or Marge, but nope. They are all against Grandpa now.
Maggie's thumping her bottle into her open hand as if it's a baseball bat, just like mean mugging Grandpa.
So after stewing on this, they decided to go back to the home again, apparently just to let Grandpa know how much they dislike him.
Yeah,
they're fucking hot.
Kick some sand.
Yeah. But they get to his room, it's empty. Turns out he has skipped out, and he left a note saying he's went back to that spot and he's going to try to fix what he did. So the family goes to the cliff that Abe threw the recipes off so many years ago. 33, I think, is the number they quote, that 33 years ago it happened.
Okay.
They approach just as he's rappelling down the cliff. And Homer's like, he's fucking like 90 years old. He shouldn't be repelling. Jesus Christ, he's a World War II vet. And Homer goes down after him, but it turns out, like Homer, idiot that he is, he just used the other half of the rope that fucking Abe had used to tie around the
It's so
stump.
funny.
That's so they both fall, and thankfully there's a branch that catches. So they're kind of hanging like fucking pendulums on a clock.
Yep. The rope is draped over that branch that sticks out of the cliff.
So the kids are all riled up, and Marge, oh my God, like guys, like we'll get help for you. And while they're hanging there, kind of like a rock outcropping sticking out from that wall is the box rusted up, and by God, that box is still there. So Homer's reaching for the box, he can't quite reach it. Fucking Grandpa sees this and is like, is gonna untie himself and fall just to make so Homer can have more slack in the rope to reach it. Homer notices this and he tells him not to stop, but he that's when Homer kind of opens up. He's like, tells him like, even though you weren't the best, you were the one that was always there for me. So fucking, I don't know. That's a nice moment, but they still end up falling. Grandpa falls in the bed that he had thrown off 33 years ago. He's like, I can still smell her perfume, and a fucking skunk jumps out of the pillowcase. Homer's on that little outcropping. He was able to get the fucking book or the box. He's so excited. Pops it open, and goddamn if all the recipes aren't gone.
That's a heartbreaker.
I didn't see that coming.
No, me neither. I was like, okay, here's our ending.
Yep. So he makes peace with it that they're not there. They end up going to a local diner right by the cliff, and Homer comments that the pie tastes like the one his mom made, and everyone in the family's raving about how good it is. The owner mentions that 33 years ago, she was outside by the cliff when all the recipes just fell from the sky. The restaurant was going out of business. Then all these recipes, it's like they came from heaven. Yep.
Yeah.
And we're here to this day because of how good that food is. And Homer tells her, hey, those are from my mom. So this lady, nice enough, gives them all back.
Yeah.
Ties them up in a little bow, gives them to Homer. Homer's looking at him. He's looking at the note. It's something like something about, make sure you're nice to yourself because your dad's a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And Grandpa's like, ooh, what's it say? And he's like, it says that your dad is an okay guy. And Grandpa's like, oh, thank you for saying that. Like thank you for believing it, which is a nice.
That's fun. That's fun exchange.
And then they hug, and things are all back together. But that ain't the end. Because, Marge still doesn't have a fucking car. Or no, yeah, well, she did. The wagon was hers, but now Homer says he's going to drive that. Episode ends with Homer on a car lot, and they're like, dude, with as much money as you can spend, this is the only thing you can afford. And, of course, it's the now destroyed Simpson sedan for $99.
Yep.
And he's overjoyed to buy it back.
That means he came out $400 ahead.
That's true. Yeah.
He sold it for $500.
Look at that car. That's $4,000 in work.
A little work, yeah. But it might not be 100% like fiscally responsible what he's done here.
Maybe he's able to turn the profit on his investments of that $500.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it.
I like that one. That was fun.
Fuck yeah, it was.
The derby stuff was cool. The other, the flashback and grandpa stuff, I was kind of, okay, whatever. It was all right.
I was into it. I was engaged.
Yeah, which is kind of the way I feel about all these.
Yep.
These are good. I like that Mo one a lot.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't have, this is the first, in the last 2 episodes of the show, of the podcast, each one had one where I was like, holy shit, this one is good.
No bangers this time.
Yep. But no duds.
No duds.
Season 29's wrapping up to be one of the best, if not the best of the 20s.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, I think season 29's been a good season. I also like the Lisa one more than you did, the New Orleans one.
Yeah.
So, totally fine. Totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Put that on the box.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ. What a fucking 5-star review. Totally acceptable.
Yeah. Let's do it again next week. Let's see if 29 finishes strong next week, because we are going to wrap up season 29 with episodes 19 to 21, and then season 30, episodes 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Oh.
We're going to get into it.
A little toe dip.
Yeah, just like, see what? Maybe a treehouse. Treehouse is usually early, but maybe not always within the first couple, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes, but yeah. Never, or maybe not never, has it ever been the first episode? I think it maybe has.
Used to be.
Is that what it was, really?
Yep.
Yeah, they were weird early on. They started The Simpsons late. There was a run there.
I think there's somewhere along the line, baseball got in the way too, or something. Football got in the way.
Football, definitely. Yep.
Wasn't there a run when they were on fucking Thursdays going up against the Cosbys way back when?
Yep, that sounds right. Yep.
Yeah.
That was very early on.
I mean, if we act like we don't know, like if only there were a podcast that talked about these kind of things.
Is there anywhere we could check for this information?
Is there anywhere we could know? No, definitely not.
Lost to the sands of time.
We're catching it, boy, howdy.
Yeah.
Because we're starting season 30 next week.
Oh, I thought you meant the weather. I thought you were looking out the window like, oh shit.
No. I mean, fuck that. It sucks out there,
we're
too.
really catching it. Like, oh, shit, am I going to sleep in my car?
We had 3 inches of snow last night for no reason.
No.
Just no God.
Yeah, the crops, Marlon.
I welcome the Mario God.
The cruel Mario God.
What's Luigi's role in this new
is he a
theology?
Judas? Does he turn on Mario, or is he a faithful second in command?
I think that's what we
Is
have
he
to
the-
write when we write our Mario Bible.
Man, my first thought was is he the Himmler to Mario's Hitler? But there's got to be
Jesus.
Is he just like a faithful, true believer? Is he a fucking oddball? God, I don't want to rattle off any more Nazis.
Or is this Brutus and Julius?
Yeah, thank you.
Like, let me save you with the Romans here.
An Opie and Fonzie type stuff.
or is Luigi the Lucifer? It already starts with L. He's got it on his hat.
That's true. Yeah, he like fucking tempts him.
Mario kicks Luigi out of heaven.
Yeah, I'm liking where all this is going.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can make a religion out of. People have made religions
Out of
on
less.
less.
Yeah.
So look for all of our medallions and books. I feel like we're going to get a cease and desist from Nintendo if we keep talking about their properties.
Oh,
on this
I'd
show.
wear that like a badge of honor.
A cease and desist from Nintendo. Then we would just have to start talking about Metroid or Zelda or something.
Nail that to my door like fucking Luther.
Please stop talking about Mario. Okay, no problem. So here's the thing about Kirby.
Banjo-Kazooie, no, they're not Nintendo.
No, they're PlayStation. But we can just move along to a different company.
That's Sonic. That Knuckles. Who was the lady Sonic? I never played enough.
Amy.
There you go. Amy?
Yeah.
It's Sonic, Knuckles, and Beth.
I think that's listen, once you get past Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, the pantheon
is it really
of fucking woodland creatures that franchise eventually opened up to. It's Silver and Shadow and Amy and Big the Cat, and it's. We can't talk about Sonic. Yeah. We can't dig into Sonic right now.
The podcast is over.
Too late in the day. They just put out a Sonic game last week.
Really?
They're still doing it. No one's asking for it.
Good for them,
I guess.
Keep on keeping on.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Quit buying them.
The Sonic games have never been good. There's never been a good Sonic game.
I haven't played enough to have an opinion.
Not a one.
No.
You can adopt mine.
There we go. You don't like the rings? You picking up rings?
Ring. And no.
Yeah.
It's no good.
The loops.
They're bad games.
You don't like the loops?
You got drowning music that kicks in when you're drowning. It's terrifying.
Always cause you to drop the controller when you're a kid and panic.
Yep. Hide behind the couch and peek over it.
Knocking shit over.
Oh, no.
Marlon, the dinette set.
Sonic, no.
You dive and just shit falling off the walls upstairs.
Trying to get under my bed, but I'm too big.
You ran into the wall again. Clearly, they hear you snoring downstairs, just out cold sleeping. Gonna wake up with a Sonic dream in about 2 hours.
They're sitting there minding their own business downstairs, and then just suddenly a thunk and something falls off the wall in front of them.
You got kids having Sonic nightmares, old enough to vote.
Tails, no.
So they're buying steering wheel covers at Home of Economy and spray painting them gold, running all over the yard, grabbing these. Holy shit, you wearing a homemade fucking Sonic cosplay costume? Like welding gloves painted white.
Yep, big gloves.
Yeah,
big red shoes.
Yeah. Fucking leggings that are fucking blue or whatever. Your hair fucking gooped into a blue fucking weird mohawk thing. Holy fuck. How confused. It's not like you grew up when that shit was big either. It was already pretty old. I'm Sonic. Yeah, man. That's not what the questions are. Why are you Sonic?
All blue, white belly.
Yeah. I want to get the rings. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Mr. Roboto or Destructo, or whatever his name is.
Dr. Robotnik.
There we go.
Mister, you show some respect.
You jumping out of the back of the emergency door in a moving school bus and collapsing the hood of some guy's sprayer pickup that was followed behind. Somehow you're uninjured. I'm sorry, I thought I saw a ring on your dash.
What? I'm already gone.
Hiding behind hay bales.
Sonic runs, and there's not something I do worse than run. Just huffing, just barely at a jog.
Making that noise when he runs super fast.
Oh, shit.
Someday.
Let's wrap up season 29 next week. 19 to 21, 1 and 2 from season 30. And we will do that. You can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. Enjoy your week, everyone.
Bye, everybody.